Welcome everybody. We are back again. The boy already laughing. Back again for another episode of the Crime Alley podcast. Or Crime Alley cast. I shouldn't say podcast, just cast. So look at us doing another episode very quickly. You guys are, if you're listening or watching, look how lucky you are. The more Crime Alley, you know. But we got the four cameras here now. So I got Costly on my left. What's up, Costly?
Hey.
We got the new recruit, the number one draft pick, Zubaz. What's up?
What's up? We were able to work it out with my agent and full-time cast member.
There it is. It's locked in. So if you're listening, just know that you're going to get a lot more Zubaz coming your way. And then this man needs no introduction. I mean, it's the one, the only, DaBoy. What's up?
What's up, guys? What's up?
Oh man, we got a lot to talk about today, I think. Suicide Squad movie. That's what we're doing, right? That's the whole spiel today. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Spoilers, Suicide movie.
Oh yeah, spoilers.
Yeah.
So
Do we want to do like a quick non-spoiler thing just for people that I mean, I don't know why you click on this if you didn't see the
if you're
spoiler.
here right now
It's a spoiler episode.
Yeah, we're going to be spoiling everything.
If you're here right now and you're like, I want to listen to this, but I haven't watched Suicide Squad, stop, pause, or let this like run in the background on mute so it gets a view or play, and then watch the movie and then come back and watch this again. There we go. I think that's
we are going to talk about Bloodsport a little bit at the end, so I'll put a timestamp in the description.
Perfect.
For where that's at for anybody who is on this who hasn't seen Suicide Squad yet, but does want to know what we think about Bloodsport inside the game. Timestamp will be in the description.
A little first impressions, first thoughts on Bloodsport, I think, is what's
full
going
review
on.
to come later.
Yeah. I feel like I want to catch up with you guys, but we just did it was not even that long ago.
It was a week ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
So usually it's like, hey guys, I haven't talked to you in 2 months. It's.
Well, DaBoy wasn't on that episode, so
DaBoy wasn't there. So.
And now I'm here.
Yeah.
And I will say that the hazing to get in was rough.
Was it?
I was forced to watch DaBoy's stream on Friday, and it was brutal.
Oh my goodness, DaBoy. I'm not going to open that can of worms, but it was.
Okay, listen.
No, we're not. We'll save the Spectre talk for another time.
I said.
Wait, I missed something because I wasn't there. Do I need to go rewatch his stream from Friday?
Oh,
or is it don't watch it because it's bad?
No, costly. Just little Cliff Notes version. Okay.
This is gonna be absurd. Go for it.
I said Spectre was a top 2 toon in the entire game, and everybody lost their freaking.
So that
mind.
sounds like costly. That sounds like a rational take, right? Nothing about what DaBoy said or did on his stream was regarding Spectre was rational at all. It was.
Wait, was it like Zod and Ultraman Part 2?
Oh, this was Ultraman a million times more. It's crazy.
Spectre is good.
He was literally having Spectre annihilate everyone he was going up against, and he's like, I guess Spectre is good. Like I said, he's okay. But this isn't Spectre's job. Spectre didn't. It was Black Flash did all this. Black Flash set this up. It's like it was. He was so dismissive of everything Spectre was doing. It was bonkers. Also, true. That was DaBoy's podcast. So dismissive of everything Spectre was. It was just crazy. We'll touch on that again when we talk about Spectre. I can't wait.
We gave him a second chance to come onto the podcast after his horrible Ultraman take. All right, and then he comes back on, and immediately I find out he was just trashing on Spectre.
That's probably what it was.
All right, you better have a good opinion on Suicide Squad. Drunk, then ice.
Okay. Two things. Spectre's top 2 toon in the game. That's a freaking fire take, but okay. I stand by my Ultraman take because I haven't seen a single Ultraman since July. But anyways, we're not talking about that.
We're not talking about that.
For reference, just for anybody in the future, it is August 8th, so it's only been 8 days.
It's been a whole week. A whole week.
Oh my god, I can't.
Anyways, on to the real topic.
quick
None of
thing.
this
Spectre
shenanigans
really
from you
has
guys.
nothing to do with Ultraman not showing up anymore. Yeah, it's not Spectre, but all right.
No,
Okay,
obviously
all right,
not.
all right, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay, let's. So I guess this is where the timestamp can go. We're gonna jump right into the Suicide Squad movie review. Just who wants to start? Who's starting this? Who liked the
So
movie?
I mean, just overall impressions right now.
Yeah.
We'll start with DaBoy.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Oh no! You don't get to start with me.
No,
One of you guys.
I want to hear your take.
I want to. Yeah, I want to hear.
I
your voice
really
take.
want to hear what you have to say about the movie.
8 out of 10.
Wow,
Right into numbers.
Just
Okay.
switching the rating already.
I don't have the itineraries up on my screen. How can I get the itinerary up on my screen?
I just copy pasted it into a notepad.
Yeah, but if I copy paste Discord right now, I'll lose all the cameras for a brief moment.
Oh dear God.
I should have done that before. But so wait, because are we gonna do number reviews?
That wasn't
no,
in the itinerary, but we will at the very end.
Right.
I mean I can change it up. I liked the movie a lot. I liked it way better than the first one.
Okay. Yeah.
Like
Hello,
a
bar.
million times better than the first one. Josh, I don't think you're on the right Discord.
Whatever. I already gave up.
A million times.
Yeah.
Like a million times better than the first one. I really liked King Shark. I mean we will probably, I think we're gonna get into like the characters and that, but I thought that he was really good. They missed a lot of what they could have done more with him. But that's okay. That's okay. It was kind of like a different character that they were bringing in, so that was good. Bloodsport, super good. I don't remember how to pronounce that guy's actor.
Jump into the character.
I don't wait.
reviews.
What's going on? I feel
Yeah.
like we had an itinerary, and then
Those
DaBoy's
are all
just he's going down one by. I remember what the itinerary looked like. Just, hey, what did you think
He
about the
says
movie?
you copied
Well,
the
King
itinerary
Shark,
and then
and then
just-
yeah, I just
Okay, sorry. All right. You guys didn't stop me.
All right. Well, because I don't.
Okay.
There's no
All right. All right.
I liked it.
okay.
Okay. All right. Zubaz, what'd you think? We'll go
Yeah,
just from
I liked it too.
across.
Right. I liked it too. I would say I'm probably not at the level that a lot of others seem to be. You know, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, well, this is without a doubt the best thing that DC has ever done. You're getting a lot of like, oh, well, look how high the Rotten Tomatoes score is and like all that kind of stuff. And I definitely enjoyed it. I was not like blown away. Right. Like I thought it was very, very good, but that's kind of where I'm at it right now.
I think the Rotten Tomato score is as high as it is because people have been starved for a good or decent movie for the last 18 months. But
Yeah.
anyways,
But it is also a good movie. Like
it is good.
Yeah.
Without a
It is
doubt.
good.
yeah. I really liked it. I really liked the movie. Amanda and I watched it. I think the night it came out. So we were pumped for that. It was super like gory. Not like, I don't know. Is it gory is a good word? I think gory is a good word. Like it was,
Yes.
yeah, not like like hostile or super like gross, but it was definitely a lot of blood, of it was R for a reason. And then
And that
now
one
see,
dude got ripped in half.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I was like,
I also felt like I didn't mind the first Suicide Squad movie. Like I enjoyed it when I watched it, and I did recognize that it did have some shortcomings with the storyline, and I felt like the what they had to do at the end came a little grand. Like this Enchantress was running. I don't know. Enchantress could have been, but there was plenty of moments in the first Suicide Squad that I thought, oh, that was cool. Like there was cool things. I really, what I really liked the first Suicide Squad when they did like the roll call for the characters. Like they did like. Deadshot showed off his shooting, and then like I don't know, everyone did their own little thing. I enjoyed it. So there's things I did enjoy, but this movie was significantly better. It was funny. Yeah. It was it had a really good storyline. It was also there was a scene near the end. It was very touching with Ratcatcher. Like it, it was there was all that was in there, and I thought it was great. I thought they did a good job of showing off each character, kind of what they do. Like they showed how dangerous Harley is. They showed King Shark being, kind of King Shark's a shark, like he just did very cool. King Shark was so funny in this movie too. Like Amanda loved King Shark. DaBoy has hand. Oh, hand. It was just good. Like it was good. There were so many good things about it. And I not at any point was I bored. I wanted to know what happened. I think, James Gunn did what he did with like Guardians of the Galaxies, took these like kind of obscure characters and made them like cool, like Peacemaker. He was really cool, like Ratcatcher. She was super cool. Like it was just took these characters that aren't, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, and then, made you, hate them, like Peacemaker. You like him, and then near the end, you don't like him, or maybe you like them more. I don't know how you are, but it was. I just thought they did such a good job with the movie. It was really good.
On that point, real quick, and then Costly, you can go.
Just cut him right off.
Just real quick, just because before I forget. On that point that you said, Josh, is that they took obscure characters. The only character in that movie that like is like popular is Harley.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick Flag isn't, like he doesn't have. Yeah, isn't that Rick Flag? People know who Captain Boomerang is.
Anyways, let Costly go.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm kind of in the same camp as Josh here. Like I liked it. I didn't hate the first Suicide Squad movie, so it's like I think this is much better. But I also don't think it's the greatest DC movie ever that like some people are saying. It's definitely not that, but like it's enjoyable. Like it makes like, I don't know if I'd say, I can't like just outright say top 5 without thinking about it, but it's like it's up there. You know what I mean? And so I really enjoyed the movie. I do have like one thing that it's like I'm perfectly fine with the way the movie went, but I think they missed like I wouldn't say it's a golden opportunity, but a neat opportunity to reboot the entire universe off the back of this. But
the whole universe?
Yes, because you could have done Justice League #1. You could have had the Justice League show up, and it would have been the Suicide Squad that let Starro out.
Okay, I get what you're saying with the comic. Yeah, with the Justice League comic. And if you don't know, Starro on Justice League comic #1.
Is it Justice League #1? I just always know that's like the first.
I believe it's Justice League #1, or I think so. But they fight Starro. Yeah, okay, I get that.
I'm not saying like, oh, the movie's bad because it didn't do that. I'm just saying it would have been a cool thing, and it would have like played into the whole villain thing if they just walked away at the end too. But then also like
a correction, it's Brave and the Bold.
Brave and the Bold. That's okay. There, all right. This is why we brought him.
Appearance of the Justice League, but
this is why we brought him right here. All right, DaBoy has his hand up.
I have a question. And Josh can attest this. I have a hard time assessing timelines between movies and shows.
Oh my god, I can't even with him.
Anyways. So how long? This was before Batman versus Superman, right?
They didn't really
because they
touch on it.
Talked about why Bloodsport was in jail.
Because he shot
Superman
with the kryptonite bullet. Right.
But Superman dies in this universe in Batman versus Superman.
Doesn't mean he killed.
He comes back. He comes back.
Yeah.
But like this could be after Justice League.
Wait. In Batman versus Superman, how would Bruce have known that kryptonite would affect Clark without him already having this happen?
You're thinking about this way too hard. You're thinking about it way more than they did.
Well, he is thinking about a lot, but now he's got me thinking. When did they know that kryptonite was? It was in Batman versus when Lex discovered that kryptonite could affect the cells of Kryptonians.
That's literally a plot in Batman versus Superman, so it would have had to have been after Justice League then.
According to James Gunn, it's 2021. He said it's happening this year. And I think the only chronology that they're like set in stone is Suicide Squad 1, Birds of Prey, The Suicide Squad. I think that's all we really know for sure.
But I do think what DaBoy said, if he's in jail for shooting Superman with the kryptonite bullet, we could, deduce that, it would be after Batman versus Superman because Lex was the first person to find out that kryptonite hurt Kryptonians.
affected the Kryptonians.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's
Yeah,
when,
okay.
and then Batman stole the kryptonite from Lex, made the weapons.
So would it
Well-
be? But it would have to be after Justice League then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that
Right.
makes sense because, like Zubaz was saying,
That's fine.
James Gunn said it's in
Okay.
2021.
Yeah, that's
so
fine,
That, it would have to be after Suicide or
I
Justice League.
was just curious because I was like,
I,
watching it, and I was
boy,
like,
this
wait,
is.
But I don't even know if
I
those
like it.
movies, like, we don't know where those movies are landing yet, or if they're even going to be part of the continuity going forward.
Right.
That's true.
Which is the
That's true.
crazy
Who
part about
knows?
DC right
The
now.
Superman that he shot might not be Henry Cavill's Superman. I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, it's-
Flash could redo everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
Yeah.
here's the other thing. And correct me if I'm wrong here. This Harley
Mhm.
has not been in the same has not been in anything with the other.
Yeah,
DC.
Suicide Squad, Ben Affleck's Batman shows up.
No,
Yeah.
I think Suicide Squad #1 is still canon to this. I still
Yeah,
think, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
it is.
Because you kind of got the idea that her, Rick Flag, and Captain Boomerang were friends. They were like the OG Suicide Squad, and spoiler. I mean, if you're this far without watching the movie, Captain Boomerang surprisingly
Obliterated.
dies
Yeah,
right in the
very
opening
quickly.
scenes, and I was shocked.
Real
There's
quick,
10 minutes.
let's just talk because we can kind of move on to the storyline a little bit.
Okay,
Just the beginning of the movie, like, okay, I didn't see it coming, but after it happened, I told myself I should have seen it coming. Just the Team 1 getting wiped. Just like I knew all those characters were going to get
something
killed. I just didn't know they were going to get killed right at the beginning of the movie to
Not all of them.
literally have their blood make a opening credits joke.
Yeah.
Like I just like
So here's one thing I have a teeny bit of a problem with. This was actually one of my problems with the movie. And it stems off of my biggest problem, Amanda Waller. But
Ooh.
I'll get to that
All
later.
right.
Okay? And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on my Amanda Waller take. But
We're ready.
Amanda
will.
Waller is
Yeah.
a phenomenal tactician, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mostly.
Why would she have possibly three of her best assets in the distraction party?
Being Harley, Rick Flag,
Harley,
because
Rick Flag, and Boomerang.
because
And Boomerang.
Rick Flag and Harley and Boomerang are all on Amanda's Waller is on her, like, they already betrayed her in the first Suicide Squad movie.
Right, but,
They
like,
did
if
not
you
follow the
really
orders.
Want this to if you really want the mission to work,
Mhm.
why would you put three of your best operatives?
because they were the
She
distraction
didn't. She
team.
wasn't.
Team 2 was the
Team,
team
yeah,
that was
Team
supposed
2
to do
was the real
everything.
team. She wasn't expecting Harley and Rick Flag and Boom. She was expecting them all to die. That was their purpose to
I
distract
don't know.
them.
I kind of
Here's-
think she expected everybody to live, but like, yeah.
Here's kind of my thought is it's almost win-win, which is you send in that 1st
Mhm.
team as the distraction team, right? If they are the distraction team and they all die, who cares? Your main
True,
plan was
true.
plan B. But if some of them survive, then great. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
like
true.
then you got win-win, and that's exactly what happened. You
Like-
still had
Okay.
Harley and Rick Flag for
Yeah,
a while.
that's true.
you know?
Because I mean, they did say that King Shark was the strongest asset on the team, and you need him to get into Jotunheim. And so that's why King Shark was over there, and like Harley, Rick Flag. I feel like that main squad without Harley and Rick Flag could have got the job done.
yeah,
Yeah,
It's just fine.
yeah, they could have.
Which the whole thing of like they need King Shark to get into Jotunheim. Did he play any kind of role into getting into Jotunheim?
probably not.
Not really, but I think he was there. Like he was there.
At all.
No, but
But he
he's like
was a
he's the one.
distraction.
He's the one that, like, if it came down to it, like he could have, ripped a few more people in half for them. Like it could have. His role got diminished because Rick Flag and Harley survived. I think so. If
Right.
he
That makes
wasn't
sense.
there, he would have been more of a chess piece, and
But he also did take like a brunt of the focus of the army when they
Oh,
showed
yeah.
up,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because when he goes down there and they're like shooting at him, he's like, "Oh, And then he
I
gets
feel
up
like
and
you're
he's
just. I feel like
DaBoy
this
has
whole.
been working on this
I know.
impression
I feel like
for
the
this
yeah.
podcast.
He's
Yeah.
like he knew we were talking Suicide Squad, so he's been practicing his King Shark impression. I know it. He was doing
it was
it.
pretty good, right? I mean,
It's
come
no,
on.
it's good. Like I know who you're doing, and like, it's but you practiced it.
I just can't tell if you're doing King Shark or Sylvester Stallone. I just can't. Like,
Yeah. But let's
All right,
move on.
let's just talk the storyline real quick,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
in general. I mean, my thing is, I think that was overall the biggest upgrade from Suicide 1 to the Suicide Squad, which is I understood it start to finish.
Mhm.
There was never, the first one got very, very convoluted. It was a little bit confusing. The Enchantress storyline got really like a mess. This was extremely easy to follow. It has a few twists and turns, which
Right.
you want. But overall, it was like start to finish. It was like they go in. There's the big twist that basically the U.S. is the one that's really causing this. We get the Waller twist. We get the Peacemaker twist, and then we switch completely into kaiju battle and everything. And like start to finish, I was like, I understood all of that, and you don't have to be watching every second and every detail to understand all that. And it was great.
Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, I thought so
The
too.
kaiju line, I laughed at.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
He's like, we got a freaking kaiju.
There was plenty of funny moments, and I'm trying to think how many times did I laugh during the first Suicide Squad movie, or honestly through many DC movies. Like I think the only time I've really laughed through DC movies would be Shazam. Like
I think in the first one, Will Smith had a couple quips that were pretty good, and Harley in general. Margot Robbie, we'll get to her, but I think she does a tremendous job with Harley. She'll get a couple laughs here and there. This they loaded it, they loaded it with jokes and stuff, which was good.
Yeah, and well timed jokes too, not just silly nonsense,
not just
jokes.
unnecessary.
Yeah. Those funny jokes. Again,
the storyline was good in general. Like it was fun. It was easy to follow, and like my one little thing was like the whole Justice League thing, but that's like whatever. That's like one thing that I was like, oh, that could be cool, but I also still really enjoyed this. It was just like one of those things. I'm always going to take these movies and be like, they could have done something really cool like this, but, like,
I mean, honestly, like thinking about the storyline and like the little twists and stuff, I think my favorite part is actually in the first act, which is rare for a movie. Usually they kind of build up to but when they killed all of those men, and then you find out that those are the good guys.
Oh my!
And that that was a perfectly set up twist.
Goodness.
And that was
he's like
wonderful.
sitting there like playing cards or eating. Or what is he doing? Like you're like
just chilling.
Like, what?
So that was when the main team finally made it in, and we're thinking, they stumbled upon
rescue Rick Flag.
Yeah, they're gonna go rescue Rick Flag. They're gonna go get him, and they've found the people that captured him, and they just kind of show off what the Suicide Squad can do as well. Like these aren't just a ragtag. They got skills, and they show them all their skills off. I think one of my favorite scenes was the banter between I can't want to say Peacemaker and Bloodsport, their little competitiveness
in that scene,
but also when Peacemaker is walking by that guy that looked like he was recovering in a cot, and he just takes the axe and goes chop 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 chop, chop, just casually walks by, and then that also gives you more of a vibe of like this Peacemaker, he's legit. He's scary. That was really good. Yeah, that whole scene was so funny. So funny. Oh man.
My one of my favorite parts of I wouldn't really say it's part of the storyline, but it ends up with, and this is a big spoiler, but if you're still watching, then that's your fault.
Yeah, seriously. If you're in there now, it's on you.
In the beginning of the movie, Peacemaker and Bloodsport are talking about the bullets that they use, right? And Bloodsport says, "Oh, I use the small bullets," and Peacemaker's like, whatever, you loser. Why you use small bullets? And then at the very end of the movie, he's like, "How did you do that?"
The callback.
He's like, "How did you do that?" I love when movies do it's just a little thing, right? I mean, it's a big event that happens, but it's a little part of it where they were like, he's like, "How did you do that?" He's like, "Smaller bullets," and then he just walks away.
Yeah,
like so good.
That was good. That was good.
So good.
So we went from the initial beach landing, the diversion team, the Suicide Squad going and killing who we thought were. God, that scene was so
The
good. That was
Resistance.
such a good scene. Like I wonder, was that my favorite scene, because it just showed again. Like, I really liked that it showed off all their skills, and then the twist that they killed. It was so funny.
I will say that there is one scene we kind of jumped over there, is the camp scene in between when they're camping for the night, and then King Shark tries to eat Ratcatcher.
Yeah.
And it kind of like, that's where you start to get like the little bit of like the, I don't know if you call it friendship or whatever between Ratcatcher and Bloodsport, but like it was cool, and then like just it was a really cool
friendship
scene
between Ratcatcher and King Shark.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that Bloodsport is terrified of rats.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was,
Yeah.
And then that, I mean, also with that, like, did that kind of give you the sense that, like, it felt like Amanda Waller and the headquarter command, like, they kept missing things like this, like, Weasel couldn't swim. They didn't check that Bloodsport is afraid of rats and brought in Ratcatcher. Like, is that Waller, or is that the team she assembled? And it was that, like.
So real quick, I'm just gonna give my Waller take. It bounces off the tactician thing that I talked about earlier. Also, she's the one that puts the task force together. It's literally her task force, right? So she's the one that's missing all these things, right?
I'm just thinking,
Also,
there's no way she would have known about Bloodsport. Like he said, I'm not going to let people know my own weaknesses. And that's such a small thing. Like, he's an assassin. It doesn't matter if he's afraid of rats. So I guess that's something she wouldn't have known. But the swimming weasel thing?
The swimming weasel thing, it's kind of a big deal, right? But anyways, that goes in continuing with Waller. When she loses her freaking mind, when they go back to go fight, she's like losing. She's like, I'm gonna blow you up.
Yeah, she was ready to do it.
Right? She was like, she completely lost control.
That's
right?
Waller.
Is that so? I'm not like. Does she do that?
Yeah, she's not like this person. She's not this character where she's just so completely level-headed all the time. Like,
and put together.
Yeah, when she gets mad, like, she's scary. Like, she will kill everyone. She would have killed everyone in that room. Like, if she wanted to. Like, if that felt like, if anyone in that moment would have, second guessed her or stopped her, she would have killed everyone. She has no problem, like, getting to that berserk. And she was pissed, and she was more mad that she was about to lose all of her
assets.
All of her assets there.
And then she just gets bopped.
I think the other thing that you can kind of chalk up a little bit in terms of why maybe she's making little mistakes here and there and that kind of thing is Amanda Waller, while she has all these plans and everything, she doesn't always do particularly well when she's under like extreme pressure and duress and that kind of thing. And this was a situation where, like, essentially if this data got out, this was like a personal thing that would impact Waller essentially. And that is when maybe she's not at her 100% best.
Yeah.
So that was what I kind of chalked it up to, is like, okay, maybe she's really feeling the heat on this one. So
I mean, she brought in Peacemaker specifically for that hard drive.
purpose.
Like, that was, so it was a very important.
So here's one of my questions about the movie. Do you think Peacemaker, like, because I just don't know that much about Peacemaker, do you think he's like into the Suicide Squad for the same reason everybody else is, or was he brought on by Waller kind of like in a flag situation?
Well, he was in prison.
Kind of situation, yeah.
Yeah, but if you remember when, like, they're going past all the cells, everybody's like in their cells, and like Peacemaker's is unlocked and he's at attention.
Maybe he was a plan. I don't know. Like, I don't know. What did they say why he was in jail?
No, but we know that he murders a ton of people.
Yeah, I think he's just in jail for killing. I think that's what he does. He just kills people. I think he's in jail for killing. And I think Waller knew that he would be the best
Yeah.
pick for that team. It was someone who is almost like military, discipline and follows a chain of command. He does that. He will stop at no men, women, children, doesn't matter. He'll do whatever it takes to get the job done. And I think that's what made Amanda Waller want him specifically on that team. She wasn't going to trust anyone else to get that hard drive except for Peacemaker, I think.
Right.
I guess just by the end of the movie, I almost kind of felt like he was a plant by Waller into the team. You know what I mean? Like, is kind of where I felt about him at the
That
end.
was a good plan by her.
It could be, but I also think it was just she knows the rap sheets on these guys.
I guess he could still be a plant and have been just in the jail for
Right.
Yeah.
a normal reason.
like,
you know what I mean? Like,
They picked him for their reasons, right?
Yeah. I like that.
What did you guys think about the? I mean, Josh, you can move us along if you.
Oh,
want,
well, the story. Well, wait, the storyline. What did we think about? Okay, so they're trying to go save Harley next, right? It was they meet up with the resistance fighters and then they realize that Harley's still alive. Oh, because they got so they go
meet
into
up with
town.
Milton, and Milton's all scared inside the van though because they killed everybody around the outside.
Yeah, so it was. How did we get to that point? Because they got caught in
That's
town.
like right after like the freedom fighter scene.
Because I think that's when. So what happened is Harley gets
That's
captured.
before the bar.
Yeah, Harley gets
Yeah,
captured,
so
and
it goes freedom fighters. Harley gets captured. She has her whole scene with the president,
right.
and then they
She
go to
kills that dude.
Yeah,
and then they
And-
go to rescue her. And then after that, that's when like there's the chase, or not really a chase, but like they make the car wreck happen
right.
after the bar and everything.
I think
Well, we learned before that though. We learned everything about Starro and Project Starfish.
right.
Oh,
Everything
right.
that's- we've learned by that point that essentially it is the American government, that the thinker is involved and he's brought in because he's kind of the only one that they think can control him, that kind of thing. I mean, those are, to me, that was great because those are like super comic booky plot points, like that was the stuff that was happening that really brought me back into the world of like, okay, I could see myself reading a 22-page comic that had these reveals at these times,
Right.
and to bring in somebody bigger.
right.
That's one of the things I didn't want to, because we're kind of like, as far as our points are concerned, we're kind of in storyline direction area right now.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I felt about this movie is I felt like I could read this movie as a comic.
Yeah. I
And
think
like
so.
that was big points for it. You know what I mean? Like I could see myself reading this as like a graphic novel or something, right? Like
And
it's
so
like a Suicide Squad Volume 1 or something.
So we
you know
also
what I mean?
had like we talked about how they went and go killed the freedom fighters, and that was to go save Rick Flag. Harley also got captured, and but we find out that she got captured for different reasons, and the reasons that she got captured is because wait, was it the president? The guy's the president. Yeah, the president wants to make her his wife because I guess in that country Harley Quinn kind of represents this like, I don't know, stand up to the government, stand up to your oppressors, to stand up to, what they feel as kind of anti-American. But I don't know if Harley even thinks that's anti-American. Like, I don't know. I don't think Harley thinks that much about herself that way, but we kind of learn a bit about Harley. And then, there's some interesting scenes with the president and Harley, and it's pretty funny. But then we get to the reveal that she kills the president. And I thought what she said, why she did it was really good. It was hard because she said she told herself that if she ever saw a guy that she was going to be with, and she was ready to, of course, this guy's super rich, president life, she's in. But then he's like, what did he say that made her realize it was killing people? Killing children? Yeah, he kills the children. So Harley hears that, and that's a red flag to her, and and she kills him. Kind of like it just again shows that even though they're villains, they have lines that they kind of don't cross. For some of them, and Harley does one of her lines, but it was mainly that she doesn't want to be with another man who's like that or anything similar that shows qualities of the Joker. And
Not about it.
And I thought that was great. I thought that was a great way to kind of show kind of what Harley's about. Like if this is one of your first times learning about Harley, like getting a good vibe of who she is. And then that leads to her breaking out, which she has such a cool, like fight scene, a breakout scene.
She gets that javelin and just starts going to town.
Yeah,
on people.
she, you know, of course, a little bit, you know, movie silliness, like, you know, killing everyone. Everyone's missing her with the bullets, you know, normal stuff. That's normal, but all that cool stuff happens. And all while this is going on, and this movie does a lot of this like 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, present, you know, all while that's going on there, the other group is getting ready to break her out. And, you know, the whole funny thing is they have this really great plan put in, everyone's in place. And then Harley just comes walking around the corner. She's already gotten herself out. And I think that was in the trailer too. Doing? Yeah. Like, oh, hey, I'll go back in if you want to see. Man, that was funny. And then I think that leads us to them finally going to Jotunheim and then all that funny stuff going on too. Like,
so I do have a question real quick about the Harley breakout scene. One of the people that works at the comic shop that I go to, we were talking about the movie, and she was saying that her and her husband were thinking that the flowers and all that was them avoiding a higher rating.
Oh, instead of blood?
Yeah, like because the movie's so gory.
Maybe.
That like
I mean, maybe
they had to like. It works for the scene, but it's like it also just conveniently made them dodge like whatever's above.
I can see that.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I just purely saw it as this is Harley. You know, like when someone thinks of you described, oh, what's your fantasy? Someone like playing in the fields with the flowers and everything, like something fun for Harley. Going around killing people is just fun for her, you know. That's where all these flowers and that's the vibe I got. Like this is Harley in her.
It definitely
worked. Yeah, it worked. But I
it definitely worked.
I
just think it's kind of an interesting thought to think that like because this movie was pretty gory to where it was like oh that could be like them dodging that rating. Like,
it's the first DC movie with nudity.
Yeah. Wieners and boobs.
No, I'm surprised because DC doesn't like that stuff. Go look at Batman Damned.
Oh yeah, that whole spiel there.
So I mean that maybe that was to help keep the rating down.
Yeah, it was maybe, little maybe thing, but. Where did we go from there? We went to.
So at that point, we get to kind of the big twist with, you know, finding out that Peacemaker his interests are not necessarily aligned with the rest of the squad, and that's when he's kind of turning on people. He's about to kill Ratcatcher.
They're in Jotunheim,
Yeah, and that's when we start to really learn about what he's doing there versus what everybody else is doing there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I thought it was a good twist. That was personally one that I kind of saw coming.
Okay.
You know, I don't know how you guys felt like.
I didn't know Peacemaker enough to think that this was something he would have done. So like I was like, okay. But then, you know, when it happens, you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. You know, that's exactly.
And they laid the groundwork for it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you look back and you're like, oh, it was so obvious now.
Yeah. I was surprised they killed Rick Flag.
The show?
Wait, what?
No, because I think he's John Cena and
wait, what did DaBoy ask?
That it's weird that Peacemaker is getting the show.
Oh no. I think John Cena and he's
over
Bloodsport. Yeah,
I don't think you're gonna book Idris Elba or Sylvester Stallone and the CGI required to do a King Shark show. You know, like John Cena, I think is in this middle ground between he's still doing pro wrestling, like he's at SummerSlam this year, like he's still there, and he's in pretty big movies, but not like huge blockbusters yet. He's not The Rock level or something, such that that's a nice middle ground. Right. Yeah. That's a good middle ground for him to all of a sudden have his own, like, you know, small series. Idris Elba's way bigger than that.
Yeah.
Margot Robbie's way bigger than that. Sylvester Stallone is way bigger. Like, you're not going to get, this is not a Marvel situation yet where you can book those big actors for a 6-episode thing on Disney yet. I don't think.
I was going to say, that's exactly actually what I was going to say is like, you got to remember, DC's not at the point where Marvel is now, where they can just go like, oh yeah, here, this big name actor that would never do a TV show, we're going to have you do a TV show just because we're Marvel. You know what I mean? And like,
do you know why that is?
And well, but then like the reason why it feels like that way, like it could be something though, is because like we have a good DC movie, so it's exciting. So like you're like, like you know, you want to get into that rhythm, but we're not there yet.
the problem with that, and DC hopefully is working on something to do that. We've had 3 different Batman actors in the same time frame of the Marvel universe.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Batman hasn't come out yet, but yes.
Well,
yes,
but right, but he's the 3rd,
Yeah.
right?
But he hasn't
So it's
come out
hard
yet.
But I mean, like,
Listen,
how much of that, like, don't, and I'm one of the people
Anyways,
that
we're
likes
getting
Batman
off,
versus Superman and Justice League and all that.
Mhm.
But it's like, how much of that is like DC's fault, and how much of it is like Affleck walking away, or like, like
well,
Nolan not wanting to do an extended universe and stuff. Like, not that I want to strictly blame it on them. Like, DC has fault, obviously.
I'm gonna
but
say,
it's just like,
without getting too far off topic of our
Yeah.
Suicide Squad, I'm gonna say Marvel. I mean, great planning on their part, everything worked good, but they also got very lucky that all these actors, they hadn't had to change actors. Actors didn't have to go away for personal reasons. They got pretty lucky in that sense. Thor's been Thor from 1 to 2. Iron Man, same one all the way. All of the original were able to just, be Robert Downey. They're all being able to stay on the same track. Like, and that is lucky on their part, which is,
yeah.
Can you imagine a studio saying, hey, we're going to do a 10-year stretch of something. And like, they were like, wait, actors scheduling, that's always would be the first thing that would pop up. So, I mean, that's just,
why it's
on
so
there.
hard with DC, because it's like getting like Chris Evans to be Captain America is way different than trying to get Ben Affleck to sign on to be like Batman for. That's just two completely different things. Now, Chris Evans today is because of Marvel.
Think about that. Like,
Chris
Thor,
Evans when first Avenger came out. You know what I mean?
Hemsworth is Thor now because of Marvel. Like, imagine trying to book Hemsworth now for a 10-year commitment. Like,
which again, not to get too far off of that, but it's like, again, DC makes their mistakes. Like, they like to make their mistakes, and I see one of those being like, they have done things to get rid of their people that are like that, though. Like, Cavill's, I guess, gone from what I understand.
Who was the biggest name in Marvel when this was it?
DaBoy shaking his head. Is Cavill not gone?
Robert Downey Jr.
He was the biggest name, right? Because Chris Evans had been in a few, like, maybe rom-coms. Scarlett Johansson wasn't in.
Maybe she was in the first Avengers.
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't there, and then
she was like popular, but she wasn't like to where she is now.
Yeah, so
at that time either.
So
like,
I feel like all of those actors, like, it was kind of smart on their end to pick these actors that, look what DC did. Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill was kind of a name before Superman.
Henry Cavill, was he?
Yeah.
I never heard of him before Superman.
Big time.
I think
Okay, so maybe I'm a little wrong on that point.
He was big on HBO's True Blood. Big on HBO's True Blood.
Was he? Maybe, maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
He was.
No one was on the lelevel of Affleck, I think.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
all right. Okay, we sidetracked.
Speaking of big, I think plotline we're getting to the final act now, which is like, okay, Starro escapes. We're at the final act here. I think we could kind of cover 2 of our points at once here, which is like, all right, finish out the storyline of Starro, and also at the same time talk about the special effects. I think because it was mainly about Starro. We earlier got a scene where we finally saw like some pretty gory stuff with like people with the starfish removed from their faces.
And then you could see it removed
really,
on,
that was really gross to look at and stuff. But then finally he escapes, and I thought it was awesome.
I thought it looked great.
I thought it looked great.
I think all the effects look great.
Yeah, it really rode the line between cartoonish and comic book, but realistic enough that you're like, okay, it fits in the movie. Yeah,
he looked like what Star would look like. Pokemon, but he looked like what Star would look like. Like they didn't do like the Sonic the Hedgehog mistake where they tried to make it too real, where it just stick to the source material. Yeah, stick to the source.
Right.
And they did a great job of that. And I think everything looked good. Even the Weasel character looked great. King Shark looked great. Like he looked great, like it was,
but like you said, I mean, Starro was bright purple, right? They didn't make it like, oh, okay, let's do a muted, Zack Snyder style giant starfish that is very realistic,
like orange or something.
Right. They were like, Starro's purple. Let's just do a giant friggin' purple starfish. And it was great. And that final scene, and Harley, kind of everybody piecing together. You get Polka Dot Man's huge moment where he takes off his leg. You get Harley burst in the eye. You get Ratcatcher really being the one that does everything.
That was a lot of rats.
It came all together.
You
know, it all came together, and it was awesome to watch. Actually, the special effects of the rats like chewing Starro from the inside out was repulsive. Like I was just. It's like, this is disgusting. I can see why this is killing Starro.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what happens.
The entire scene of how Starro dies is just meant to play on so many different people's phobias.
Oh, I'm sure.
Literally, she jumped into an eye with a needle-shaped object, and then rats poured into it.
And, like chew it out from the inside.
Eat it from the inside.
Yeah, Harley's drowning at the same time. Like, I mean, there is a lot. There's a lot of phobias.
That is a lot of phobias. And that's what happened. So the Suicide Squad, they realized that Waller had her own, agenda, whatever, and they may have that big moment where they go back and fight Starro, and then they kill him, and all that. And again, there's that really touching scene. There's a couple emotional scenes. I'm gonna say the two emotional scenes for me. Possibly 3 was Polka Dot Man taking off the leg, and him then kind of saying like, I am a superhero. And in that moment, in that moment you're like, man, his whole life, his storyline was his whole life his mother and parents
tried to make him a superhero.
They turn him into this, and he's not a superhero. He's in prison. His whole life has just been disastrous. He's now on a Suicide Squad team where if he, it's just, that's not where he wants to go. And in that moment, he's like, I'm a superhero. And that was a touching moment. And then like he's dead, which sucks.
He's dead.
But it was, again, I felt that in that moment, like, oh, that was a good. And then we get the other moment of Ratcatcher when she, brings all the rats in. And then to kind of go back to what a conversation was had when they're on the bus going into town was Bloodsport told Ratcatcher, was like, I'm gonna make sure I get you out of this. And she looked at him and was like, I'm gonna get you out of this. And in that scene, Bloodsport is about to be overrun. He has no more weapons, and then Ratcatcher comes in, turns on the thing, all the rats save, and she again goes.
And they climb over and scratch blood.
Yeah, but she goes to him and puts him down and is almost like, I got this now. Like, it's my turn. And then the rats come in. The rats are the heroes. And then it kind of reflects onto when she remembers like her and her father. Shout out to Kai White. What does he say his name? Takai.
Taika Waititi.
Waititi. Yeah. Shout out to him. He's in it, and he's Ratcatcher. And she's like, why rats? And he's like, like they have usefulness. They're looked down upon in society, but they can be useful, and that was I felt that was the most emotional moment in that movie when, she's crying, the rats are saving the day. And it's just, she's saving Bloodsport. I'm trying to think what's the third emotion. I said 2, and then I said possibly 3. What was the second one I'm thinking?
Probably the daughter with Bloodsport, I would imagine. Bloodsport's daughter seeing him on TV.
That was emotional.
That was not touching to you.
No, that was okay. So 4, but what was I thinking? I can't believe I totally forgot where I was going with that. What else happened? Okay, so Harley didn't do anything emotional. Starro.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that was okay. So that was my emotional moment. Was when Starro is dying. He's been defeated, and if you remember, he was floating in space. He was captured by the U.S. government, kind of tortured his whole life. Well, whatever that life was, 30 years it seemed like. I think it was 30 years. Mm-hmm. And then as he's dying, one of his controlled minions just says, "I was happy floating in space looking at the stars." And then boom, right there you go from this monster thrashing to like, damn, like he he
was just happy.
He was happy, and that was I don't know, that one hit me hard too. Like those two moments, Ratcatcher and Starro, like those were two very emotional moments, I thought. And again, big shout out to this movie doing that, like creating this movie of ragtag, C-list characters and making you feel for them. And Starro, like he's the monster, but
One of the other things the movie did a great job of is the only person legitimately felt safe was Harley. Everybody else, I could see die. Literally everybody else. Like,
and they really did that right from the opening scene when they killed everyone. Like when Captain Boomerang died, I'm like, hold up, like who's next? And then you're watching Rick Flag do his thing fighting with Peacemaker, and then he dies. They did a good job there where that's the Suicide Squad. Anyone can die, and
yeah.
So
and also they set up those moments where like when King Shark gets thrown into the building, you're not sure. You're not sure if he's gonna make it. Same thing, Polka Dot Man. You're like, oh, it's a comic book movie. He just got stomped on. Maybe he walks out of it and then he doesn't. They definitely left it open, and it tugged you in different directions.
When King Shark got attacked by those little like jellyfish type thing,
piranha,
that's like I thought he was done. Like when he started getting attacked in blood, I was like, oh no. I was like, oh no. and then
when he fell all the way out, I was like, okay, if he didn't die from those, he died from that. And then he gets shot by all the army. I'm like, all right, he's got to be dead. Yeah. And then but I knew he wasn't dead from the gunfire just because
his shark
he was
skin
getting shot. It was bouncing off earlier. So,
but there were many times you thought, and I was again watching them. Amanda loved King Shark. She did not want. Yeah. There's two characters Amanda did not want to die at all, and that was King Shark, and that was Sebastian. Or the rat catcher's mouse. She was so worried about the mouse, even when
he's a rat.
Yeah, a rat. He was so concerned with Sebastian, especially when he went into Starro. He was like, is he going to get out? And then I had to tell Amanda when all the rats started crawling out, I saw Sebastian crawl out. I'm like, oh, he's okay. Like I told Amanda, man, he's there. He crawled out. I saw him, and then it was good. So
yeah, I'm with Amanda. I didn't see the red cape come out, and I wasn't sure until they were on the helicopter, like flying away.
It's a backpack. Wait, Zubaz, it's a backpack, not a cape.
It's a mouse at least.
That was also kind of little bit of a touching moment was Bloodsport petting Sebastian.
Yeah, at the very end on the plane. Yeah, he's doing
real quick thing that was cool that I noticed. I didn't watch it again yet, but I was watching like a reaction, and I didn't catch the first time because I was so into the scene, but I caught the second time was before they do the jump back of I think it's 8 minutes earlier when you find out why it exploded early.
Yes.
When Peacemaker's about to kill Ratcatcher 2, you can hear Bloodsport falling.
Oh, really? You hear the doosh, doosh, doosh. Did you hear that?
I didn't catch it because I was so into the scene of oh my god, is he going to kill Ratcatcher 2? To where it's when I watched it back on the reaction, that's in that scene. The sound of him coming down, it's there.
That's good.
And I was like, that's a cool little thing to do. You know what I mean? Where it's
that's cool.
Because by all means, they didn't actually have to have that sound in there.
No, they didn't.
It would bug some people continuity wise later on.
Yeah.
But
it would have pissed a lot of people off. Yeah.
People, it would have after the fact, said plot hole.
Yeah.
What was that?
Plot hole.
But so the music. What do you guys think of the music?
Music was great. I caught myself, and I do this every now and then during movies when I'm hearing the music in the background. I'm a big music lover, maybe not to the extent of Zubaz is. I recently found out during my stream. Shout out hashtag Casey Musgraves. But I constantly, if I'm watching a movie and I hear something I like, I will pull up Shazam and I will Shazam it just so I can go back and listen to it. And two songs stuck out to me in it. And I'm pulling up my Shazam library right now. It was a song that happened, I believe, when they're in the bar hanging out. It was a song called Sola by Jesse Reyes, and that's in Spanish. And then another song was Can't Sleep, and that is by the artist K-Flay. And when I saw K-Flay, that name stuck out to me, and I was like, I know K-Flay. And then I thought about it, and I just realized if you watch my streams, my intro song is a K-Flay remix of her song called Make Me Fade. But again, I very much liked the soundtrack. I thought they did a good job of picking songs that were in theme, to the movie, and had connect the lyrics meshed with not caring about things, not caring about yourself or whatever, like the Jesse Reyes, if you're listening to it. And it's just they're lighthearted music. It's just a good, very not on the Guardians of Galaxy level of soundtrack, but it was good. There was plenty of good songs.
Yeah, I mean, so I am like Jez mentioned, I'm definitely a big music guy, and I knew that we were kind of headed in a good direction. First, second, literally when they're playing Folsom Prison Blues, Johnny Cash, which is, a lot of people don't quite know the full history of that song, but it's twofold. So not only is he singing a song about being in prison, which is very fitting for the Suicide Squad, that particular version, the live version, is from a live concert that Johnny Cash performed in a prison, inside of Folsom Prison for the inmates. And they went the extra step and made sure that they got like the good live version and everything. So I was like, all right, we're in for a good show here.
Yeah.
Getting the Pixies is a big get. I always like the Fratellis, so that Whistle for the Choir song I thought was really, really good. I mean, the other thing, these guys all know, if you don't, I'm a Sicilian American living in New Orleans, so Louis Prima for me is like tops. That's my guy.
What was
so
the song?
Harley's fight scene for Just a Gigolo and I Ain't Got Nobody, when that's all set to Louis Prima, and it's this hybrid of fighting with dance. It was extremely choreographed and that kind of thing. And I literally watched that scene 3 times. The first time as it was going, I was actually playing DCL at the time, and I was like, I was a little distracted, but that sounded and looked really cool. Let me go back and watch it. And I watched it again the second time. I was like, okay, they did this perfect. And then the third time, I noticed even things that they synced up with the music, and I was like, this was outstanding. So I thought the soundtrack was really good. I actually thought the score was really good. The John Murphy score, I thought he did a really good job too, and he's got a big background with Michael Bay and Guy Ritchie, and I thought that the score was excellent as well.
I think you're gonna see that Harley scene that you're talking about, like the beauty of the song and the juxtaposition of her killing everyone. Like, it's a very violent scene. I think that's gonna be a scene that's gonna be, like a big fan favorite. You're gonna probably see a lot of clips of that on YouTube, like the Harley fight scene, and it's just, I think that's again, and that goes to the music, like how the music made that scene better. Like, it's I'm like music was great.
Yeah, see, I'm not like I like music, obviously, but like I'm not like, I'm never the person that's gonna remember the artist or the song name or anything like that. But one of the things
Get that
that I like
Shazam.
to do, one of the things I like to do is, for the longest time on my phone, I finally had to delete them because whenever I wasn't trying to listen to soundtrack music, it kept coming up when I was trying to listen to music while I'm driving and stuff. But for the longest time, I had a lot of, like, especially DC stuff, like Batman Arkham Knight and Under the Red Hood, and a bunch of like the soundtracks from those. So I like downloading soundtrack music a lot, and one of the things that always sticks with me with movies is like that song going right into the end credits right after the movie finishes. And I think Suicide Squad is now 2 for 2 with the song they chose for that. Because the Oh No by Grandpa I thought was great for this one, and then I Like Heathens by
that was a good song for that.
That was like
that was like the
Suicide
banger
Squad
from the
one.
Yeah.
So do
Let's
we want to
segue right there, right into Harley?
Yeah,
'cause
to
we were
Harley,
just
the
talking
characters.
about
Let's
her.
talk about Harley. Like,
Yeah.
what did you guys think of this? Like, I don't know. She's evolved from. Was Suicide Squad the first time we saw Harley, the number 1 in the movies?
Saved Harley.
Yes.
Okay, so they went from
It was
Harley,
Suicide Squad 1,
and then Birds of Prey, and then this. Yeah, and I think
This movie
Yeah.
saved Harley.
you think so. Did you not like her in
I think
Birds
she
of
was
Prey?
okay in Suicide Squad. I think Birds of Prey is kind of whatever to me, but this is good.
She was good in the first Suicide Squad. Like, she was okay, like, whatevs. Birds of Prey was just such a bad movie, just all around.
I think she was very good in Birds of Prey, though.
She was okay.
That's the problem.
But I think that the Birds of Prey movie put a bad taste on a lot of people.
I think
for Harley.
Harley,
because she's the main character
in
the
Suicide
movie
Squad
was so bad.
1 was like, they were just kind of getting her, and then I think Birds of Prey was so much Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti, their Harley, and it was so like, that's that Harley, and so I didn't mind Harley in the Birds of Prey. Like, I didn't like Birds of Prey, but Harley to me wasn't the problem, and I don't think she was, but I do like the Harley we got in this one. Like a little bit. I don't know. I like the Harley in. This is my favorite Harley.
Jester.
Yeah.
Just a little more.
Yeah.
More Mad Jester.
Well, I mean, that's Harley Quinn in general, though. Like, just when you go even into the comics, it's like there's just such a different Harley. Like, I liked the TV show, right, that they brought over there, but even in the comics,
so good with Haley Cuoco.
Yeah, but even in the comics, like, if you go pick up the Harley Quinn book and read it, you're gonna get almost a different Harley than what you're gonna get in Suicide Squad.
There's a ton of different Harleys, depending on the writer and the director, all of it. You're gonna get a different Harley every time, and I almost think that that's inherent in the character that they've created, right? Like, you've created somebody who is a sociopath, like, by definition, and that's a lot of people are gonna interpret that in different ways.
In Harley, you get it a little more than you do with other characters, though. Like, for the most part, like, when it's different writers writing, like, Batman, he's still pretty much Batman. You know what I mean? To an extent. Like, there's writers that can go and really mess up Batman.
I don't know. I
agree with that. Yeah,
I don't know.
Think there's different beats. If you watch Batman Brave and the Bold, the cartoon, that's a very different Batman than you know, Dark Knight. And then you get Adam West. That's Batman, but that's a different Batman than Michael Keaton. You know?
Okay, well, like, definitely there. Where my brain was thinking right there was like immediately in comics, like you know, there's like always like 16 Batman books out, right?
Yeah.
For the most part, they all still feel like Batman in the books. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
like,
there's some rules they have to follow.
Yeah, exactly. And there's an editor-in-chief that's overseeing all of that at the same time. But Batman right now, that homogenized 16 titles, those are different than the Batman from the 80s. You know, like that. I
guess
mean,
more or less what I was talking about was like, you can go to like, currently right now, you can go to like 2 or 3 different books that Harley's in, and she'll feel different across the 3 books. Where it's like, if you were to go into the store and pick up 3 Bat books that were coming out, Batman's going to feel relatively the same across all 3.
Yeah.
Unless you're picking up Justice League and he's being written by Bendis. But
well, go ahead.
My thing for Harley, I was going to say, so it's especially within that fight scene, which, as Josh mentioned, like I think that's going to be one of the definitive scenes of this movie. I thought that fight scene in particular, and how it felt and how zany she was, as well as her movement, everything, I thought that was the closest we have ever come to original Harley Quinn from Batman the Animated Series. Like, as she came out, the way she's kind of hopping around, the way that she's using different weapons, the way she's talking and acting and everything, I was like, this is the original like Harley.
And if
like, this is it.
If I had to nitpick about that, my only little thing, and this is something that I've always loved about Harley, is one of her way that she's so physically capable is her gymnastics background. And I just wish sometimes they would show her doing like back handsprings or something. Like I throw in a back handspring here and there, and then just to give that nod, because if you don't know, she has was elite level gymnast. She didn't go to the Olympics.
We learned more about in Birds of Prey.
She didn't go to the Olympics because she wanted to become a doctor. Like, this is just Harley's just an amazing person. But I just, during that fight, every time I watch her fight, I'm always looking for that the gymnastics, and I never really get it.
There was a little bit.
A little bit. But again, I want to see like your.
Well, no, even beyond that,
javelin's like, not gymnastics.
No, but like she like spins around on it, and like
I guess
like that.
Boy's got Olympic fever.
I want to see those trademark back handsprings. Maybe like a, I don't know. I'm not saying I needed to see her do like uneven bar flips and stuff like that, but just I want to see her more. I guess I just really want to see her flip around more. I think that's the main.
Well, one of the things too, and like. One of my closest friends growing up was a gymnast. He and his whole family were. And one of the things that they have a lot are like very good core strength and upper body strength as well. And like, I think she kind of showed that off, like when she broke the dude's neck with her feet.
And also when she got the key and then folded herself up and then
like that was all kind of like, that's all gymnast.
Yeah, that's good.
Right there, you know what I mean? Like,
I want backflips.
I guess one thing about that particular point is. I was split in how I felt about it, right? I thought she looked really, really cool. I thought the dress, the everything that they gave her, I was like, this is a new Harley look. We're gonna see a whole ton of that for Halloween this year.
And at the Comic Cons, it's gonna be the red dress.
Everywhere. At the same time, I did think it crippled her a little bit because I don't think that they were doing some of those gymnastic things and stuff because she's in this like boa
Gown.
flowy dress
Yeah.
type situation. So
Yeah.
I was torn. I was like, okay, maybe I don't know. But it made sense for the movie, and so
Yeah.
I was like, this is good.
Just
And I thought Margot Robbie nailed it.
Yeah.
I thought that is one of the best casting decisions I think they've made.
I really like her as Harley. I really do.
So she's taking a break.
I mean, but
Who's
do they have
taking a
anything in the
break?
pipeline? Like,
But
is there anything?
allegedly, she's taking a break from Harley. Allegedly.
We'll see.
I mean,
But yeah, I mean, there's no
what's-
Suicide Squad
yeah,
3
I don't
coming
know
out.
what-
Like
The last person
DC
to take
is taking a break.
was Ben Affleck, and now he's gone.
yeah, but I mean, I don't. I mean, to say that she's taking a break right now, like what? It'd be different if she said, I'm done doing Harley. That would be different. But I think
Right. Or if they killed the character.
Yeah, or maybe she's saying, maybe that's saying you're not going to see Harley in Peacemaker, maybe, or maybe, you know,
or in Flash.
But I mean, to answer like DaBoy's point there, like, I mean, we don't know like what happened between DC, or unless we do, between Ben Affleck and DC, but it almost kind of seems like DC's answer to Ben Affleck taking a break was starting a new Batman series with a different actor.
Well, Ben Affleck had a lot. Ben Affleck had a lot of personal reasons why.
Yeah,
he couldn't continue. Yeah,
and he came back for Snyder Cut. Like, and barely fit into a bat suit.
I love Ben Affleck.
Yeah, I thought Ben Affleck's one of my favorite Batman. I actually he might be.
He might be my favorite.
I think he might be my favorite. But anyways, let's go
I
down that.
think he's gonna be. Anyway,
All right,
he's not on the list.
He's not on the list.
Characters to talk about.
Ratcatcher 2. I just call her Ratcatcher. I don't know. Is that like a faux pas? Like, should I be saying just calling her straight up Ratcatcher? I know she's Ratcatcher 2, and there is an original Ratcatcher, but I'm just gonna call her Ratcatcher.
Put some respect on her.
Just put some respect on his name, I
I love
Josh
Ratcatcher.
Rars.
I mean,
that's not the same.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember in the 1500 chat, I wished all of you a happy Ratcatcher's Day this year, all the way back in June, because I do love Ratcatcher, the original one, and now we got this new spin on it, and I thought it was excellent. Mm-hmm. I'll let you guys talk about it, but I thought she was great.
In the comics, is there a Ratcatcher 2? There is, right? No? Or is this only for the movies?
Not that I recall. No, this is new, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
All right, so this is for the movies then. All right, so I love her. I fell in love with her immediately, and I talked about this. I forgot. I think it was in the 1500. We're in the little Discord. I think she might, me personally, is the most beautiful potential woman in DC universe for the movies. For the movies, like she's, and I'm actually pulling up her name right now. It is
Daniela Melchior, I think.
No.
Yeah.
Daniela Melchior.
I think it's like Melchior. Yeah, she's from Portugal.
Portugal, yeah. But she did an amazing job with this character. She was so like, she did a good job of kind of not being. She's very capable. Like when you watch her, like you understand that this character is very capable, but she still had that vulnerability to her, you know. And I thought she did a great job acting as that character. I was going to be very sad if she got killed by Peacemaker. I did not want her to die. I would have been very upset. But I think she did a great job. I loved her backstory. She had that great emotional moment near at the end. She was great, and I think James Gunn did it again. You know, like took a character and then just boom, she's. I hope when there's a Suicide Squad 2, I hope she's in it, and I hope nothing ever happens to her. I can't. I wouldn't be able to handle it.
I have a question, and this may have been explained and I may have missed it.
Okay.
Why is she always so like tired?
You sleepy girl.
Just sleepy.
She's a millennial. It was because she's a millennial. It was explained in.
I thought it was something similar to that.
I'm trying to think. Would it be something with like how she grew up, where she was? I don't know. She never. I think for us, you see it like, oh, she could just kind of fall asleep anywhere. She goes into deep sleep. Like she lived with her father. She lived on the street. She didn't. You know, she's capable of sleeping and being in any environment comfortably, like kind of like rats are. Yeah. Rats can be anywhere and can survive in almost any. And so I think if I had to say, that's what would it be.
Can mice do that too, Josh?
Of course they can. Mice, rats, they're all, yeah.
Here's my only thing about Ratcatcher, which to your point about how you hope she's in a new one and that kind of thing. My sense is, I think they've done her entire arc. I think they've done everything that they could do with her. She has. It's almost. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Squirrel Girl from Marvel, who
not much
winds up. She's essentially this character, but with squirrels, and she has defeated Doctor Doom and Galactus and like some of the biggest entities in the Marvel universe. And she was this joke character, right? So it's that, I think, is really where they pulled this from. And so here we saw her defeat Starro with her army of rats. We saw her redemption moment. We saw her with her father and everything. What else can you kind of do? He's OP. Like, if you bring her into a new movie, you're just going to be like, well, why don't we just have Ratcatcher calling all the rats right now?
Sure, I agree. All right, that makes a lot of sense. And I just don't want her to die. So if she isn't in a movie, I don't want her to die. That's it.
Oh my god!
DaBoy hand.
I see your hand. Give me a second. Zubaz. Of course, I know who Unbeatable Squirrel Girl is because I worked in a comic shop, and I can't believe you just made that connection for me. It blew my mind. She's basically DC's Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, and that's insane. That in a movie I got to watch basically Squirrel Girl kill Starro. That's great. And then she's done her entire arc, so she's gonna be the Captain Boomerang of Suicide Squad too.
I would get up and walk out of the theater if that happened.
Wait.
DaBoy.
There's these ones. Why would these characters be in a Suicide Squad 2? They're out.
Because they just go back to jail. That's how the Suicide Squad.
I don't actually. You know what? Yeah,
works.
They're out.
They get 10 years off their sentence.
No. Not these ones. They're out
this movie.
because of the hard drive. They said
exactly.
The deal was the deal would be we're out. And if you come after us again, we're going to release it. So it's true. So Harley's out, Bloodsport's out.
But when they just kill somebody again, like they wind up in jail again.
Well, then, hey, Waller, pull some strings, get me out. I want out now, or you know what'll happen.
They're out.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Because Bloodsport said if we die, that video gets out. So I guess that's their get out of jail free card. And I guess something like that is very valuable. And, I don't want to think like a get out of jail fee is really easy to come by, but that's what you get from the Suicide Squad. You're going to be able to put yourself in situations to get, they're out.
To that point, you know what the best way to make sure that they don't die is to bring them back onto the Suicide Squad and surround them with expendable characters.
I mean, they still have bombs in their necks, right? Like that, they didn't take those out yet.
They didn't. They but again, they take bombs in the neck. But if they die. If Waller uses it, then the info gets out. So I'm sure they're just going to get the bombs out.
Yeah, and if we're going by most Suicide Squad books, those actually have timers on them, and they really need to get back to base.
The boy.
Don't in the first one, don't they figure out how to get the bombs out of their neck?
No, they shut them off. They get the
because doesn't Joker figure out how to get the bombs out of their neck?
He jams Harleys or something, but they get
and it doesn't work for Killer Croc.
For that one guy. Yeah.
Doesn't Deadshot get the briefcase at one point? Because Flag has
they figured out
Flag has the briefcase.
Wasn't that a whole thing? Joker getting scientists and finding a way to get the bombs out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyways, I think the whole point is that they're going to get the bombs out. The bombs will get out. They're out, and I think they'll get the bombs out.
They're safe. They won't be in the next Suicide Squad movie because they're done.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody's favorite character, King Shark. What do you guys think?
Oh man,
nom nom.
I love King Shark. I
because they didn't use him enough.
You know what? I was reading something about Suicide Squad, and I don't know if you guys caught this. I didn't catch this, and maybe I don't know. I guess I just missed it. But when they did that cut scene where they're all in the bar and King Shark's in the van, I thought he was kind of just bobbing his head, like maybe just being like silly. Apparently, he's sitting there crying his eyeballs out.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that. I didn't notice he was crying, and I don't think Amanda noticed that because Amanda's heart would have shattered into a million pieces if we realized that she was. I didn't realize that, and that made me more sad. He's sad.
Everything about him was sad.
King Shark was great. Like he was so funny. I loved his fake mustache. I loved it. I loved his C, like he's speaking
Right?
Spanish. Like it was just, oh, when he dropped that F-bomb, that was so funny. It was, I'm thinking about that scene. It was so funny. King Shark was great.
I thought they did an amazing job. My one thing is we had these huge scenes, right? Ratcatcher saves the day. Bloodsport has this phenomenal where you see everything he can do. You get Polka Dot's huge moment, all that kind of stuff. I never felt like we got a King Shark action. This is everything he can do. Scene.
Yeah. I mean,
he gets shot a lot. He takes a lot of hits, and you're impressed by him. But we never. Right. So, and where I thought it was coming, I was so excited for it. Was they've got that entire army. They're all like loading him up with bullets, and he's just taking them and stuff. I thought he was going to tear through every single one
would
of
have been
those
good.
guys. I thought he was just going to go nuts, and they did nothing.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
His moment was when he rips that guy in half.
Yeah, that was a cool moment, but that wasn't his
biggest moment. Was like the aquarium, like that was his big scene. Was with the fish and the jellyfish, whatever. Yeah, like that to me was his. This is King Shark. Yeah, I mean,
he did eat a lot of people, but yeah, he didn't have his. A lot of people. He didn't have his big. Yeah, I would have seen it there. I think I remember feeling that too. Like he's about to. These guys are all dead. He's about to rip them all to shreds, and he's gonna run through and kill them all. But yeah, he didn't. Maybe we could have seen him. Yeah, maybe we could have seen him being a little more agile in there too. Like run around, jump, bite, kill someone else. Like. Big claw, maybe kill like 3 guys or something. That would have been cool.
Or even something a little more devastating to Starro, right? So Polka Dot Man blows his leg off. Bloodsport sends in King Shark, and you just see him kind of like gnawing on one arm because he's like gigantic and stuff. I was like, there could have been something that they gave him to do a little bit more.
You know what I would have? You know what would have been good is if Harley goes into the eye, right, and then. Well, I guess the rats do it too.
Follows behind him.
Yeah, like maybe Harley is, losing her breath or something, and then King Shark could have gone in, swim, grabbed her out, and it would have been like him saying like, "You're my friend too," friends.
Do water. It makes sense.
Yeah, and that would have been a really good scene because it had gone to the callback of King Shark and Ratcatcher like being friends. Like he wouldn't eat his friends; he would save his friends, and that could have been. I think that would have been a cool moment too. James Gunn should have called me. I don't know.
So I would just like to say I like King Shark. I thought they did a great job with him. And James Gunn now for the second time has taken a big action star and made him a very simple voice actor and knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. Sylvester Stallone did great. It was great. Like it was.
I also I thought the design of King Shark was great.
Yeah.
They didn't give him the muscles and the abs that he has in the comics and all that kind of stuff. And they gave him an interview and they said it made him look too much like a mammal. Like it made him look too human and that kind of thing. And they wanted him to have like a dad bod is what they said. And he did look like a shark to me.
Yeah, sharks don't have abs.
Way more like a shark. Right?
Yeah, sharks don't have abs and but I mean he's a.
Yeah, so you're saying they didn't like give him like like a armor and like a knight's like a king's armor and stuff like that for some reason.
Loincloth.
It was. I love King Shark. I think that, again, the CGI we talked about, he was amazing. I thought he was so funny. He was scary. I think what was probably his scariest moment was when he tried to eat Ratcatcher and then Bloodsport kind of had to put him in his place. That was kind of scary to see him. Like he kept charging at him, and he took a lot.
And it plays to the fact that he's a shark.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's why we thought, like, again, Zubaz, like he was gonna go ballistic, like the shark and kill everyone, like
because he went like crazier against Bloodsport than he did against the freaking army guys.
I almost thought they would do like a blood type thing where maybe because like Polka Dot Man blew off Starro's leg and now Starro was like bleeding, that the blood would make King Shark go crazy.
I'm just thinking like that. About the Harley Quinn show when one drop of blood goes into the tank.
And he goes like,
if you haven't seen the Harley Quinn show, it's a great show, and King Shark's in it, and King Shark's so funny in that one too. The voice
Ron Funches is so good.
He's so funny, and there is a scene he smells blood and just turns into this monster, and it's very funny, and it was so good. But yeah, that could have been a thing too. Now let's talk about that the polka dot man talking about triggering King Shark, but he was a good character. I was like, again, didn't know a lot about Pokemon. I knew that Pokemon Polka Dot Man. I knew that he used the polka dots as a weapon. I knew that about him. But I didn't know any of his backstory about. I don't know if was that his comic accurate backstory. No, okay.
No, not even a little bit.
What's his comic story?
His comic book. I mean, like this is the ultimate turning absolutely nothing into like tragicomic, incredible character.
I have a feeling
he has none of this.
Was it like the old comic book days? He's just a villain that likes to use polka dots as a weapon. Is that like just that's his backstory?
I don't know that they ever really explain it, other than like when he starts out as like Mr. Polka Dot, he wears a polka dot covered costume, and eventually he gets like advanced technology, right? And the polka dots, all the different colors do something different. He has this like flying vehicle that is like polka dot shaped and everything like that. It's his shtick, It's like that's his thing.
Like Kite Man.
Yeah, exactly. It's a perfect analogy. And that's what he was. But he has none of this with the mother, or that he's like an interdimensional, all of that. This is all new for the movie, and I've never cared about Polka Dot Man in my life.
It was super cool. That backstory was super cool. Like it's again, it leads to that tragic moment, but then that very touching moment. But like,
leave it to James Gunn to make an interdimensional character. Who would have thought?
What are we?
Just it's James Gunn.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you were referencing another character that you were good at. Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
I don't know where that was.
I don't know where. But yeah, Polka Dot Man was great, and the thing with the mom was really funny too. Like him seeing his mom everywhere, and those always little funny moments too, like in the club with all the moms. That was funny.
And when Bloodsport was like, "That's your mom."
Yeah, and then Star was a big mom, and then like it was. They did. I don't know. I really like when they showed the Suicide Squad as all his mom's versions. That was really funny too. Like it was great. I love Polka Dot Man. I thought he was super cool. I was like, as I'm watching, I'm wanting to know what's his deal. Like, what is it with because they did it very like, he runs, he goes off in the bushes, and then like all this lights and stuff happening. You're like, well, what is it? What is it?
He has a disease, like all that. Yeah, and none of that, again, not like the disease. None of that is from the comics. This is all for this movie, which is great. And it
was great too. Like it was very short, sweet. Like his explanation, boom, I got it. I understand it. Yep. We get it. Let's go. Let's roll. And it was great. Like I liked it a lot.
Do we get him in the game at some point?
Ooh.
I mean, as much as I liked him in this movie, there's a long list of characters that they get added before we get Polka Dot Man. And I mean, there's a very long list of characters.
I would like all the characters. I don't know. Except I don't want Crypto, and I don't want Dexter. As much as I love Dexter, I don't want him. I don't.
Cool. So we can get Ace, and we can get
no animals,
and we can get Streaky.
We get Streaky. I'm getting Streaky.
No animals.
Now a skin for Atrocitus with Dexter on, I get it. But anyways,
cool. Okay.
Boom.
Let's hit these real like a quick rundown on kind of everybody else. Flag, Peacemaker, Waller. What do we think?
But we talked about Waller a touch with kind of who she is, what she does, what she's about.
Major upgrade.
Flag major upgrade. I was gonna say with Amanda Waller. Amanda asked a question. When she said you don't know the half of it about like killing or getting Bloodsport's daughter in prison and doing this stuff and going to those extents of manipulating someone, like I'll take your daughter and literally throw her in jail and she's going to be, tortured or whatever. Like, and Amanda asks, like, is that what she does? I'm like, that's Amanda Waller. Like, she's about that. She will do whatever it takes and she's scary. Like when Bloodsport walked up to her with the pen to her neck, she didn't flinch. You're not going to make Waller flinch. She's the Wall. Like you're not going to make her flinch. I think I want to say they did a better job of this movie than the last Suicide Squad, kind of really showing what she's about. I like this Waller. Like
got mopped by some desk person.
I mean, she's only human. Like
I mean,
like,
but like Zubaz pointed out earlier, that's also it was showing one of her weaknesses. Like when she gets really like invested in whatever's happening, and she gets really worked up about it, she's not going to notice somebody sneaking up behind her with a golf club. Yeah, like
she gets freaking bopped. Like
that would have taken out Batman without his cowl on.
Well, yeah, I'm saying like
Zubaz like
how she's like just fine. She's just like sitting in her office after that, and she's just like, "Frick you guys."
Yeah,
like,
because
really, it's Amanda Waller. Like all those people,
nice back.
Died.
Yeah,
she probably would have died.
I think she also understands.
Yeah,
like,
see,
the headache of
Waller
having to
from
get a new
one
team
would have killed all of them. Waller from this one,
yeah,
but
but maybe
DaBoy
she
doesn't have a point
knows.
there. Like.
But she knows that, like, okay, she wipes out this whole team. She has to train a whole new team again. Like, I don't know. Like,
No,
I feel like
that's one of the ones where it's like I kind of have to pull myself out of it because the reason all those people are still alive is because they're gonna do a Peacemaker show.
Yeah,
like,
this is a whole new team.
Yeah,
they literally
she always has a whole new team.
No, wait, her tech team.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's I'm talking about her tech team. Like her tech team.
They all died in the first one. She killed all of them.
I know. So I'm like, I'm just thinking like going that she's sitting there like kind of pouting in the office or whatever. But I think she's won. She probably has a concussion. She's like messed up. But I think it's just like she also understands that she didn't want to lose her Suicide Squad team. I don't think she's gonna want to have to like redo her whole tech team.
Well, and her main objective still was completed.
The objective was completed.
Yeah.
She got the hard drive. The
hard drive
it was a
still
success.
Not going to go to the public.
Yeah.
And she also, like, you got to remember, this is the DC universe. Just because we didn't get to see the other characters in the prison, she probably has a prison full of just more Suicide Squads she can make. So if they all die against
which was fun. There was a couple of Easter eggs there. We saw Calendar Man. We saw Kaleidoscope was the girl with the white hair with the face painted.
What's the Superman villain that was behind Calendar Man? What's his name?
The guy with the deck of cards for skin.
Yeah.
Oh God, what is that guy's name?
Deck of cards for skin.
He's super obscure. Like
I don't know. I don't even remember seeing him in the movie. I saw Calendar Man.
He's about as obscure as Bloodsport was before this movie.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But anyway, he doesn't
double down.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Okay, what about who do you want to talk about? Flag or Peacemaker? Let's save Peacemaker for wait. No, let's save Peacemaker because we can kind of transfer to his show. But Flag. Okay. Better upgrade.
He was better than the first one, and I'm sad that I didn't want him to die. So
is he really dead though?
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah. Isn't Flag like one of those characters that always just somehow seems to be alive?
No, it's true. No, Flag just always has kids. That's what it is.
I mean, his heart stabbed in the heart, and the building fell on top of him.
Was he stabbed in the heart, or was he stabbed next to the heart?
I thought it looked. They showed the heart.
We literally watched the tile go into his heart. What do you mean?
Yeah, his heart was
like they specifically.
The only vagueness was
how
hard it was, not. And then we found out
it was his heart. DaBoy, his heart got punctured and he died.
I'm telling you, Flag is one of those characters that always seems to somehow come back.
If they're gonna do a thing where they send in a Suicide Squad recovery team, they go in, find his body, give him some like robot heart. I think he's dead. He's dead. No, Suicide Squad.
I mean, you never know with the Suicide Squad though, because like literally, unless they got chopped up by like Captain Boomerang did, it is a classic thing in the Suicide Squad that characters magically come back. Like we found them in the rubble. Like,
the weasel drowned.
Yeah, but
not really. Well, no, I'm just saying, like even in the comics, there's a lot of times
think they did that with Peacemaker. We thought Peacemaker was dead.
Yeah,
but I can't believe he's still alive. But I think Flag's dead.
I don't want him to be dead, but it's okay if he's dead. Like it's not the.
But I did like him a lot in this one. I didn't mind his like kind of like love story with Enchantress in the first one, but I liked him in this one like a lot. I thought he was, was good. I don't know what else to say about him. He was good.
Timeline question.
Okay.
Peacemaker show before or after?
We don't know.
If I had to guess,
It
I'm gonna
could
say
be-
it's after. If I just be guessing, based on
so
what I
you're
saw.
saying Bloodsport didn't kill him with the smaller bullets?
Did you
No.
not watch
We
the
know
end
he's
credits?
alive.
Did you watch the end credits, DaBoy? Oh, okay.
DaBoy did not.
Oh.
Peacemaker's still alive.
Wait, hold on.
He's still alive.
At the end, they
Yeah.
find him, and his face right now. At the end,
It's
after the
very
credits,
last end credits scene.
after the credits, they show a scene where they're in a hospital, and they're like, the interns are like, oh, I bet this is probably like a little bit intern punishment from Waller too. They're saddled with like, and then
see that.
you did see that, DaBoy?
You would know that he was still alive.
DaBoy, it's okay.
I did see.
Just say I didn't see it. Just say
No, it
it.
was at the very end. It was at the very
Okay.
end. You had to scroll through all the credits on HBO Max.
Yes.
Yeah, it was the
It
last
wasn't,
scene.
it wasn't like the classic like after half the credits. It was like at the very
What do you mean
end.
the classic? The classic is at the very end of the credits. That's the
No.
classic.
Classic is at the very end.
Anyways, I did see that. I must have like
You
not
did.
Okay.
All right.
No, I will give him a little bit of leniency here. I actually had to ask somebody because I didn't have my glasses on during that scene.
Was
if
that
it was,
Peacemaker?
If it was Flag or Peacekeeper
Oh,
or
okay.
Peacemaker, I didn't know which one it was.
Okay, so
I
then
just-
the show's
I-
after.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Well,
I just
we don't
couldn't
know
tell. I
that.
didn't have
No,
my
I
glasses
mean,
on.
they could do a prequel, right? Like they could go back and sort of show how he got to that point. I think it
Yeah.
would be fine.
You know what?
too.
You
But
know what? I'm gonna take back my statement. I think sure Rick Flag could still be alive. You know what? I think I was thinking about it more. Like, sure, he could be alive. Like they got Peacemaker.
Got shot in the freaking
Yeah.
throat.
Yeah, and then they, like that's the reveal was Peacemaker is still alive, and then we're gonna find out later that Waller also found
So
what's his nuts,
here's
and
my
he's
other
alive.
reason.
Sure,
I didn't
Flag's
like.
still alive.
I think I took
Yeah.
my
He's
glasses
alive.
off or whatever, walked away and came back and seen the scene. But then on top of that, what got me thinking it was Rick Flag for a while until I talked to my friend. He's like, no, it was Peacemaker. Is they say they couldn't believe his heart was still beating, and like
Oh,
specifically,
yeah.
Peacemaker got shot in the throat
Mhm.
and
Right.
Flag got stabbed in the heart.
Yeah,
And so it was like without really being
And they
able to
only
tell who it
showed us
was.
Peacemaker.
No,
I think they just showed-
didn't do
they showed I think they showed those 28-inch thighs from John
Yeah.
Cena. Like it was Peacemaker.
I actually did think John Cena was great.
He
thought
was great.
He was like
So great.
Oh, he was
perfect
great.
for that super jingoistic, but like
Mhm.
playing it serious when you know everything he's saying is ridiculous.
Mhm.
I thought he did an amazing job, and he looked the part. All of it was. Like,
It was everything.
perfect. I thought he-
It was yeah.
yeah.
I think this is his role is Peacemaker,
Mhm.
and I'm glad we're gonna get a show for him too. I'm
Mhm.
gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch the heck out of it. I'm in. You
Yeah.
know, I want to know more.
What's it going to be released though?
January.
HBO
They
Max?
said.
Really?
You know what?
Already?
You know what?
Hmm?
You know what
I'm
makes
saying
me
what-
excited?
What is it going to be released on? Because
HBO.
Oh,
Probably
HBO
HBO
Max.
Max. HBO
Yeah.
Max.
is HBO Max the DC or the
Mhm.
Disney Plus equivalent? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say that. Yeah.
Wait, this is what makes me excited. Like now, having seen this movie, I'm excited for a Peacemaker show.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
even before then, I was excited for a Peacemaker show because it establishes movie-connected TV shows
Yeah.
for DC.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something that I think DC, could really use.
Yeah.
So
It's gonna be great. Again, I think where DC's headed in a good direction right now. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'm excited
Last-
for
Last bit of Suicide Squad.
everyone else.
Bloodsport.
Last
Bloodsport.
character.
Was
Everyone else. Who cares?
Oh, I know if everyone else. I mean,
Who would be the everyone else? The A
like
squad.
the guys that TDK, that guy. Jack
Everybody
Nicholson,
everybody that died
Ridiculous.
it was hilarious. That first
Yeah.
scene was hilarious.
Yeah.
TD
It was.
Um,
It was.
ridiculous.
Amanda is a
That,
big
that moment
Nathan.
in my head though, right when you see Boomerang get he gets screwed up by
Oh,
all
yeah.
the
The
tree
helicopter.
limbs
Mhm.
getting shot in him. And I was like, holy crap, are they gonna kill Boomerang? And I was like, oh, he might live through this. And then you see the helicopter
Yeah.
crash behind him and it comes towards him. I was like, oh no, he ain't getting out of this.
I know Amanda is a big Nathan Fillion fan, and
Mhm.
she was very upset that he died. Like, but he was it was funny.
Oh, it was
his arms
hilarious.
come off, and he's like kind of just annoying the I don't know, like
He's
slapping,
just like slapping them.
yeah, like it was good. Like again,
It was just
good
a
job.
giant joke, and it's great.
But it also again another nod to this movie. I'm seeing Nathan Fillion. You're seeing Pete Davidson. You're seeing who's the actor
Any
from The
movie
Walking
that
Dead.
Pete Davidson
But you're
dies
seeing
in
you're
the
seeing
first
these
movie.
kind of beefy names, these actors, and dead. You know who I was of all the characters I went whoa was Mongal.
Yep.
I was like Mongal, and then because I'm like Amanda's like who's that? I was like well, yeah, it's like oh is she a god? I was like she's strong.
Kind
Like
of a
this
big
is
deal.
Mongol. Like it's I'm like I was, and then she died. You know I don't know. Like it was cool. It was really cool. It was really cool. You know.
Yeah, it was surprising to me. Now I mean, we're headed towards a reboot anyways with Flash. I don't know if this will get rebooted, but seeing Boomerang die was kind of like okay, that's actually a pretty like he's not A-list Flash villain, but he's like there
Yeah, he is a
as a Flash villain.
Yeah.
And then also like the Thinker, which I'm like,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Thinker. I don't think I would ever see him actually making it into a Flash movie though. Like, because he was like
Yeah.
what season 1 of the show, you know? But like,
Yeah.
It
but
was.
that was another one that I was like, whoa, okay,
Yeah.
that was like a bigger
The-
name that
the
I didn't
Thinker,
expect
yeah.
to really die.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, he got smashed.
Yeah.
but I mean,
what
as
other
far
characters
as
did we see?
everyone else, they did a great job with a lot of the casting and a lot like
You know what's
Yeah.
really funny? Wait, real quick. Felt really funny. Josh just said, "What other characters did we see?" And all four of us went like this.
Yeah.
I mean, you know who was good too? It was everybody that was not like on the Suicide Squad. Like I thought the dictatorship and everything, like those guys, I thought were all really well done. I thought the people that were trying to overthrow the government, like that girl was really good. Like everybody, I thought, I was like, all of these people are compelling, and I would have wanted to see more of any of them, but also realize that we've got an overarching thing here, so we've got to make it all fit together. And I thought they did.
Milton.
Yeah, we got Milton in there.
The best is when
You know what?
Harley's like, "Who the hell's Milton?"
No,
I was
when she calls Bloodsport Milton at the end,
that was,
I was like,
that was
oh
good.
my God.
That was good.
So-
He's like, "It's not my name."
Yeah.
So
We just talked about it.
the leader of the Freedom Fighters, all the way up until literally a minute ago, I was trying to place where I've seen her before.
She's been in a ton of
Like
things.
the actress, because she's played almost that exact role before. And what it is, it's Act of Valor. She's, if you've ever seen the movie Act of Valor, it's the Navy SEAL movie. She's she's like a CIA like type thing. She's like undercover in, I can't even remember where, but it's a very similar role. So it was like I couldn't place her, and I was like, I've seen her somewhere, but I think she's also played that kind of a role in other movies.
The only other movie
I don't know if it's like a typecast or not. but
I've
like
seen her in I Am Legend. That's another one I really remember from her.
Oh, she was on I Am Legend. Yeah, that's
Okay.
That. And also, wasn't she?
I mean,
Isn't she in that one show like where she's like the queen of something? The queen of. It's like a gang show. She's the. I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh my god, I don't know. I never watched it.
All
Whatever.
right, so Bloodsport.
Okay,
Bloodsport.
I did. Oh, real quick, I did pop for John Ostrander making an appearance. It was really,
that was
really
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
I was like, this is. I'm glad they fit everybody in, but
Yeah.
that was a really cool Easter
So
egg.
for anybody
So-
that didn't catch it in the credits, because I don't know I know who John Ostrander is. I don't know what he looks like, so I didn't catch it till the credits. But for anybody that didn't catch it in the credits or doesn't know, he's the doctor in the very beginning that's putting the bomb in the neck, right?
Yeah.
That's so the one that says, what does he say? He has a line. What is he?
I don't remember it now. I don't remember his.
I had a when I watched it, I didn't see it, but then when I saw on Reddit, I was like, oh yeah, that's because you don't really see their faces a lot like that.
Yeah.
right?
Not often, but I've seen him like get
He puts the
contests.
bomb in Savant's neck
Mm-hmm.
in the movie. But yeah, so Bloodsport.
Sport.
Bloodsport, so good.
He's in the game now.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is in the game.
So real quick, let's talk about in the movie.
Yeah. Here's the thing, and I will say that I prejudged this kind of based on how Idris Elba made it into the movie, right? Which is we know that like Will Smith wasn't coming back.
Mhm.
We know that they were replacing him. They thought about making him Deadshot and instead switched and made him Bloodsport because they might bring Will Smith back.
Mhm.
And so I prejudged it, and I was kind of like, they're going to make this basically the same guy. You know, even in the trailers, he's this expert marksman.
Mhm.
They pull a character that has only had like 8 appearances in comics in Bobby Dubois, like, and they didn't. They flipped it. And like, I think people who think that those are the same character missed it, right?
Mhm.
Like, he's the opposite of Deadshot.
Wait, doesn't Deadshot have a daughter at home too, though?
That he really cares about.
Yeah, he does not care about his daughter.
Deadshot like does everything for his
Hold on,
daughter.
Hold on. He obviously cares about his daughter enough to go do all this when she gets threatened.
The
don't
relationship
think so.
between Deadshot and his daughter is vastly different between the relationship between Bloodsport.
story.
Like it's this,
No.
no.
I'm kidding.
Okay.
Yeah.
This, DaBoy, you're not. But
And the thing about Bloodsport, like why he goes, when I was rationalizing too, is I don't necessarily think it's because of a personal connection to his daughter. I think he is, just as everybody else in the room is, I think they're horrified about the idea of doing that to a 16-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And it's like it's more of like a human thing as opposed to father-daughter, because we saw that he did not want her. He didn't give one, I'm not dropping curse words here, but about his daughter at all. And so that moment, that initial scene kind of really flipped it for me. I was like, okay, this is a different guy. And then we got a very different arc too, in terms of how Bloodsport gets from the beginning where he is to kind of turning him into a hero and everything. I was like, okay, this was really well done. They didn't do any of the Vietnam War stuff with him or anything. They made him into a new character for the movie that was realistic and was good. They weren't transporting him to an interdimensional armory for his weapons. He had all just the cool tech on his suit.
And that was
really good.
Too.
That
was cool.
Yeah. And I thought Idris Elba was awesome. I expected him to be awesome. And it made me like look at Heimdall in Marvel and be like, they missed the boat in terms of what they could do with Idris Elba.
I really liked him. I'm really bummed because he was probably in my top 3 Jon Stewart picks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? A quick sidetrack. I don't need DC to keep pulling giant names for each and every character. Look at Marvel. Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, whatever. Like you don't need to just. We don't need a big name every single time. But you know what line I like?
Picture 2 has been in like nothing.
Yeah.
Like she's been TV shows, but
and
she's
I
never
love
done
her.
movies.
And I love her now. But
and wait, even Harley. I mean, Margot Robbie wasn't really in much before. What was she in?
Wolf of Wall Street.
She's been in like
Wolf of Wall
quite
Street
a bit.
For like 5 minutes.
She has like, she was like in the Nancy Kerrigan movie. That whole thing was really big. She's been in acting since.
But she wasn't like okay, all of these people have been acting like their whole lives.
Yeah, no. But see, like it's different than like it's different than like pulling, Chris Evans out of literally the ashes of Fantastic Four, and then that one movie where he's on a cell phone all the time. I can't remember what it's called.
That's a good movie.
And then making him Captain America. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a difference there.
Yeah.
Like there's.
Yeah.
You know what line I like talking about Bloodsport is when their little roll call they do, like Bloodsport, anything in his hands is considered a deadly weapon, and then like, oh, here's Peacemaker, anything in his hands is a deadly weapon. It's like, wait, we bought the same, they do the same thing. That's a good line. No.
Yeah,
so
fourth wall was good.
My favorite.
Zubaz, real quick. I can't remember. Did they give him an origin in the movie? Like, did they establish if he has like the new one that's in the current Suicide Squad book?
They gave him the shooting Superman with the kryptonite needles and stuff, but I don't think that they gave him anything more than that.
So I'm just gonna assume it's the updated origin then, because of the suit, at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, which the updated origin, because like his original origin was he was a draft dodger, and then his brother went to the war instead and lost his arms and legs. This time around, he still runs, but I don't know if it's obviously not the draft because, but his brother dies in this scenario, and then he avenges him as Bloodsport.
Yeah, I don't think any of that was in the movie.
Yeah, I just didn't know if they talked about it like at any point. You know what I mean?
No, it was. And you didn't need to.
Then again, I didn't know who he was before like I started reading Suicide Squad and like current like right now Suicide Squad, and then this movie. So
I think one of my favorite Bloodsport moments is in the camp when they're going through and they're like killing everybody, and I don't remember who says it, but they're like one of either Peacemaker or Bloodsport calls the other one a show off, and he goes,
"That was a very funny scene."
and then he goes, like he like gives Peacemaker like the respect at the end. He's like, all right. He's like,
that
right.
was a very funny.
Yeah.
No one likes to show off, and Peace was like, they do when what you're showing off. That was very funny. And John Cena delivered that line perfectly. Like it was perfect.
Yeah.
And then Bloodsport was like, all right,
you're right. It was. That was
for
good.
me, I really liked Bloodsport. Like, and I think a lot of that is owed to Idris Elba.
Yeah,
great. Because I think he made this character something that I'm interested in now, and now excited that he's in the Suicide Squad run that I'm reading right now because I want to read more about him.
Yeah,
and it's kind of crazy how like the actor in the movie could do that. You know what I mean? But it's like, here's the thing, like I don't. For like ever since pretty much like the MCU started, my levels of watching movies have just grown to pretty much only being comic book stuff and not too much anything outside of like comic book stuff. So I only really knew Idris Elba from Thor. Like I hadn't really seen him in much else, and so like I always just knew him as Heimdall, and I was like, he's pretty good as Heimdall, but like I've always heard people be like, oh, he's so good. I'm like,
he's a good actor.
I feel like I got to see that in this movie
he's a good
where I'm
actor.
like, oh, I got to really see him act in it, like be really good. Anything else you guys want to say on the movie version? Or
I geared up DC Legends version of Bloodsport because of Bloodsport in the movie.
Do you want to do DaBoy's ratings that he like kicked off the episode?
All right, let's all give it ratings.
No, we've always done ratings.
Yeah, DaBoy, what do you got?
Are we doing out of 10 or out of 5?
I think
out of 5. Okay.
Out of 10
is
or
that
out
a
of 5?
I don't know. I think
we can decide right here. We could do out of friggin' 13 if we want.
Let's say 10. Let's do 10.
The review. This is basically a first time.
Okay, DaBoy says 8 out of 10.
The 10.
8.2 out of 10.
Okay, 8.2. All right.
Wow.
Okay. I'll go like 7.9 out of 10.
I was confused there for a second. I was like 7, 9, 8 then? How much did I enjoy it? I'm trying to think how much fun it was, how funny it was. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say it's an 8.5 for me.
All right.
Okay. So we should have just gone out of 100. And,
so Costly, I'm fully expecting you to put up number graphics under each of our faces. More work for you. Don't do that.
But I will say my last question about the movie, then transitioning into the game for you guys, is the suit. How did you think about the suit? And should it have been his legendary skin in the game?
Oh my god, his helmet! His helmet was so sick, like that skull under. Oh, that was so cool.
And that's what he looks like in the comics right now.
Yeah, it's so cool. It was so cool.
It was also really funny when he broke his helmet.
Yeah.
Oh wait, he's like falling down, and he's just like, and he's just like, oh.
Yeah. Here's the funny thing about like the comic version though that like Zubaz was just talking about is, and just the correlation between it and the movies. Even in today's Suicide Squad like run that's happening, they show like what we have is like in DC or DCL as like his previous version, and he only has this new suit because he's going to Earth 3 to fight Ultraman, and it like protects his brain from the vibrations of traveling to another Earth. That is the only reason he even has that suit, and then it's the suit that's in the movie.
So wait, hold on, big deal here. Does that open up the multiverse a little bit from
No,
Suicide Squad.
no, because that doesn't connect at all. That it literally doesn't connect at all. That is a reason for him to have the suit in the comic. Nope, they didn't explain that in the Suicide Squad movie at all.
So what?
No,
I think unfortunately, because they had such a head start, I think DC has kind of lost a claim to like multiverse right now, with like Marvel going so big into multiverse that if DC starts it now, everybody's gonna be like, what are we doing? We're just doing this, like,
and the part that sucks. The part that sucks about that is, I am way more interested in DC's multiverse than Marvel's.
Oh yeah,
I don't. I like Loki. Not that. I'm not going to spoil Loki here.
Loki.
I care less. I could care less about Loki.
Oh, I loved it.
It was all right.
The show.
I just. Yeah, I don't care.
Black out your screen right now. He's about
I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Show is a 10 out of 10.
It was a good show. I just don't care about like the direction it was going.
Oh my god! I'm not
care.
listening to you right now. I can't.
So, anyways,
but yeah, talk about Bloodsport. And DCL
Bloodsport in the game. I have him gear 10, so somebody else could take it.
Well, some people might want to hear how he has a gear 10. I don't know if you've used it.
I haven't used him at gear 10.
Okay. I have used him. I unlocked him early because I've been playing with King Shark for a while too. So I had him, and then I finally, with the recent event, took him up to L4. And I think he's got a really cool kit. I think it does a ton. He is unfortunately slow, which in this game can be crippling if you don't set it up for him. My biggest just knocks is I don't believe the percentages of the skills that he has. And I say it like this because his third legendary, his third move, which is the AoE with debuff immunity, which is with buff immunity, is already a phenomenal move. It has the legendary of 50% chance to clear all buffs.
You talked about this.
All the buffs.
I did. I mentioned it in the 1500. I thought it was bugged because I had it trigger every single time. I was like, I think it's just happening 100% of the time. And then I finally got to one match where it did not trigger, but I think it's like very, very high. I do not believe 50%. To me, it feels like 80 or 90 at least. And it's such a good move.
I was so busy today, and then I jumped in. I saw M-Force Jimmy, and was he showing off Bloodsport?
No, he did not.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. And then the opposite, which is his basic, which has an 80% chance to stun, I feel triggers maybe 10% of the time. You know, I think to me, I was expecting him to be stunning every single turn between his basic and his passive, and it didn't seem like it was happening all that often. But that 3 skill, like, it's so good because it's one of those ones where you pick primary target, and it's also a purge move that if it triggers, cannot miss. So you can click on Harley, and if the skill triggers, which I'm saying it triggers seems like a lot of the time, it takes away all of her evasions, all of her taunt, cannot miss. Like, that's what they're eventually going to give to Spectre, it seems like. But that's what it does now.
They better
and
not.
So that move is so good.
They will.
That move is so good.
They will.
The 8 bleeds, the stack of 8 bleeds is okay. You know, it's nice, but it's just like bleeds don't do anything now.
Yeah.
I think the 8 bleeds was probably meant specifically to work with King Shark.
I think that's part of it because it also has the heal immunity and everything.
How many?
Too,
he's green. I keep thinking he's red.
Mm-hmm.
But also, how many red bleeders? But how many green bleeders do we have?
There's not a
we
lot.
Have a couple. Heatwave, Heatwave, Chemo, Bloodsport,
and Bizarro.
Yeah,
I think that's about it. But... So that's a nice little addition there.
Yeah,
just because somebody who has a lot of bleeders gear.
Yeah, you know, you're trying to make that bleeding team. Now you have a green to slow.
But like to kind of a point that like even Zubaz kind of like hinted on there was like bleed doesn't do that much anymore, unless like you're specifically running somebody like Red Hood who's throwing out tons of heal immunities and not letting you heal past those. You know, but then again, like there's
so much purging now.
There's a lot of purging now too.
I'll say this about Bloodsport too. So he, you know, obviously any green now is just dead because of Spectre. But in matches where Spectre isn't there, he's really tanky.
You have matches without Spectre in it?
Yeah, occasionally, you run into him
You're
if you
never
play
gonna.
enough wrath and
After his
stuff,
sixth day, it's gonna be.
Yeah, but right now, if you
man.
do, if you're not too worried about a blue just obliterating your team for no reason, it seems like Bloodsport he's pretty tanky. He's got like 38k hit points, which puts him at like parallax levels of stuff. Now he doesn't gain any stamina ups or anything like that. He does get his invisibility, which means he can never be retaliated against, which is really nice. You can
hit permanent
markets with him
basically, as long as he doesn't have debuff immunity or buff immunity.
As long as he doesn't have buff immunity, he gets it every single turn, which makes his AoE can't miss as well. So that's really nice too.
My big question. My
Mhm.
big question: how does he do with Lex?
So if you're running him with Lex,
right?
you have to take his basic legendary earlier.
Done.
I did not take his basic legendary early because I do not use Lex or run him with Lex. So I can't answer that question.
We don't call him Lex on this show.
What do we call him?
We call him Crutch.
Crutch.
We've never once said that ever. That's not a thing.
It is decided.
DaBoy, I went back as research when I was added to the team, and I listened to every podcast. We have never called him Crutch.
Yeah,
ever.
Not a thing.
Pretty sure we have.
No. Oh man.
I don't know. So that's my review. I think he's a lot of fun. I would not rush to gear him. He's certainly without a doubt, you don't need him for this month's siege. Okay. That's like an easy come, easy go situation. I don't think you need him for PvP or anything, but I think you can have fun with him. I think he is just a really cool character. The stuns are pretty awesome, and you can make a lot of fun comps with him because he does so much different stuff. You can put him in a stun comp. You can put him in a bleed comp.
I'm just thinking M4 told me, he's like, because I asked someone, I forgot where we were, what it was. I said something about Bloodsport, and M4 says, "Oh, I'm gonna show him off on Sunday." So I'm like, okay, I won't gear him then. But I guess M4 didn't show him off.
Unless he did it in the first half hour. I was still watching the White Sox.
I thought he said he was gonna be a slow gear for him.
His is only
I think so.
Okay, so then my next should I show him off on stream? I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm not going to.
That's what I'm saying. Like no one who. I mean, I'm not. I don't want to use him. I don't know.
I guess.
I don't know if I want to use him or I don't know if I want to. I'm trying to think what greens out there I'd rather have than.
I have him gear 11, so maybe I can do it.
All right, DaBoy. All right, DaBoy, take it. Then fine, you can have it. I'll.
Yeah.
Do it.
I'm starting to run into a problem, and here's my problem with Bloodsport when I'm looking at him.
Yes.
I feel like DaBoy's gonna. I don't know what DaBoy's gonna do. I don't trust
That's
DaBoy
the
anymore.
issue that I'm having.
Yeah, I don't.
What take are we gonna get?
Yeah.
No one ever knows what
I can't.
I'm starting to run into a problem of I'm now at the point where I don't know if I want to gear characters.
Why? What do you need to gear characters for? Do you have Spectre?
Invest in Bloodsport.
Do you have Spectre?
Yeah, that's.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Do you have Blood Flash?
You're good. You're good. You don't need more characters.
So it's just like. So I guess what I'm kind of the review here, I guess, from everybody, it seems, at least that they have played him, is he's good,
not necessary,
not great, and not necessary. Like,
not necessary.
Whatever. He's whatever.
Which is, I think, that is going to be probably 90%.
Yeah,
of
that's
that come
so
out,
many
right?
tunes that you don't think. You don't need. I always feel like when new players ask me questions or stuff, and they say do I need this one? Like, no, you don't. You don't. You could literally do super well with just the campaign trail characters.
Oh, I mean, it's worth answering. You do not need him for Nightmare Challenge at all. You do not need him for raids at all. He's not going to add a ton to either of those. He may be good for raids for the stuns, maybe, but not.
But I mean, Dark Side stuns.
Yeah. I don't use greens in raids. I don't think anybody uses greens in raids anymore. Maybe you get an Arcus here and there, but yeah. So you don't need him for raids. You definitely don't need him for Nightmare Challenge. It's basically if you like the character, if you like Bloodsport, if you saw the movie and you're like, I want Idris Elba, more of him in my life, slot him in.
Yeah. It's good. And you know what? I always forget. I have to always think about this as well. Is we're taking this whole view that we have of it is also we all have a really deepish roster, you know.
Yeah.
But if you're a new player and you don't have the dark sides, you don't have the, you know, whatever. I think pretend you didn't have your deep roster. Do you think
I don't? I'm free to play. So
do you think he's good?
I do. I would say, like, okay, if you're thinking about not having a lot of characters that have been in the game, you hear us talk about how good Hawk Girl is all the time because she stuns so much and stuff, and he can kind of fill that role a little bit. You know, he's definitely a character that can kind of control the match a little bit. The big thing, he just needs time. He needs time to set up. He needs time to take his turns, and he needs support.
Lex will give him all the time he needs.
I do. I think Lex would be great for him. And my recommendation is if you're not going to use him with Lex, slot his first legendary kind of all the way in at the end. But if you are using him with Lex, take his first legendary as soon as possible so you can buff, because that's his only buff move.
All right. Bloodsport. There we go.
That's it.
Get Lex. That's the big takeaway. Get Lex.
Get Lex first.
Yeah,
get Lex before you get Bloodsport. If you're a new player, get Lex, then get Bloodsport.
Focus on
wait.
Lex.
Sorry. Get Crutch, and then get.
Correct.
Man, this is a podcast. We're coming up right to the 2 hour mark.
I mean, this was just it was just our Suicide Squad thing, so it's like technically I think we still have an episode next week. It'll be the normal second episode of the month.
Look at us. Look at us go.
Yeah. I just
pumping it out.
When movies come out, you got to capitalize on these when they come out. Unlike when we said we were going to do
Titans
Snyder
one,
Cut.
I guess, at some point.
Yes.
Unlike when we said we were going to do Snyder Cut, then we just never did it.
Titans, Stargirl
comes out.
I will jump on Titans. Wait, when is because I didn't watch season 2 yet.
It starts this week.
Oh, you gotta get going, Josh.
I guess.
Real quick.
I will take one for the team and watch Stargirl.
Okay, thank you. I did not enjoy. I didn't enjoy it. I watched the first episode and I didn't really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, that'll all be for later on.
DC Legends is smart. Wait, hold on. This is about Bloodsport.
Why are you so close to your mic?
Because.
What are you doing?
Sometimes.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to get your attention.
I can see you.
Hey, Zubaz, that's a pretty cool mic. Did you get the changing color one?
I did. It looks like
Look at these two weirdos with their non-changing color one.
Wait, Costly. Which one do you have?
Which one do you think he has?
Oh, yeah.
Anyways,
me and Josh have the same one.
If
Oh
DC
God,
Legends
my
is
camera.
smart, they do this more often.
Do what?
With movies and shows, they line up releases and stuff. Typically, they haven't done it a lot. They've only done it 1 or 2 other times before this.
That's not true.
And
I bring this point up on my stream, and
did,
it was like,
and we proved you wrong.
Very wrong.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems
they've
like
never
it.
done it. They've never done it on the month. They've only done it on the exact month.
That's not true.
1 or 2 times. It is.
Birds of Prey, Aquaman, Justice League.
Dude, they've timed with CW shows.
The Batwoman TV show, the what's it called, the Black Lightning
DaBoy, I
TV
brought
show.
this
one thing
up.
they've actually been decent.
Yeah.
I know. DaBoy, I was the same. DaBoy, I'll give you credit. I was the same way. Someone talking about. I was like, yeah, but they don't do this.
Movie.
They don't really sync at the movies. And then we took a second and we're like, actually, they do it all the time.
So I know what DaBoy is going off of, because me and DaBoy were having a chat when the silhouettes came out about who we thought the characters were, and because the silhouettes actually kind of got everybody a little bit.
They did not get it. I was resolute the entire time.
DaBoy was the only one that was confused by it.
Merciless. And, oh God.
Okay, so me and DaBoy were talking about it, and we actually went back and looked, and the Justice League month that we got was the month after the movie came out.
Exactly.
Okay, so wait. DaBoy went from they don't do this to finding only one example of when it wasn't perfectly timed.
Right.
Anyways, if this month happened without the movie, I wouldn't have geared Bloodsport.
So you're saying they should
But I
do this
watched
because it might get you to gear more characters?
I watched the movie and I was like, dude, Bloodsport's cool.
I may have geared Bloodsport if he had his movie skin.
Okay, how much do you bet that's going to be the skin in the raid?
I don't think so. I
There's
honestly,
no way.
Azrael literally was the next month. I like,
Yeah,
was
I'm
it
not
was it
saying
the
that-
next month or
that's
2
not-
months
Was
later?
he? Was Azrael the next Black?
Azrael was really quick after
It
when he
Not
was
the
in
it
August.
next
wasn't
month.
his release month. It was the month after.
All
Yeah.
right, so he got released whenever, and then the next month in Raids he had a skin.
Yes.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
My issue is
It's gonna be Red Lantern Spectre.
they are
Sad,
staying
sad.
away from obvious movie characters. It looks like they haven't done like they didn't give King Shark his King Shark movie look, like that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
I mean,
So now this
Wonder
is the
Woman?
That was the
Bloodsport
last one,
from the comics, right? Like they did. We do have that suit with like the skull mouth and everything in the comics, but that's because they're synergizing it with the movie.
Yeah.
So I would be very surprised.
It might be
I
a
thi-
licensing thing.
Is it?
yeah, and I think if they were going to do it, that's what we would have got from the beginning.
That's
I don't
true.
think
Because,
we
I
would have
mean,
got.
Remember when we got the
80s
Red
version.
Sun skin and then they had to change it? I guess that it was up
Yeah.
to licensing.
Oh, that's
and
true.
stuff.
They lost the
that makes
rights.
sense,
They
yeah.
lost the
And
rights
that was the last
immediately.
time they really tried that, because that was around the time, and that was also DaBoy, another little movie tie-in, because that was around the time the animated Red Sun came out when they did
Mhm.
that skin. But
So yep.
It was
Look at
late.
that.
was
Yeah.
it late?
So,
think it was
so
late.
I don't think it was late,
I
no.
think that they're just going to play it safe and not do anything that they're not even sure of.
Yeah.
So I think that's why we're getting the original.
So correct. Or tell me if I'm wrong. Who was the last movie likeness that we got? Was it Gal or was it Malmoa?
I think it was Hippolyta.
Yeah, I want to say hip
She
hop.
came out with DOJ, didn't she? Didn't she come out in the same month?
I don't know. I don't. pay
That was when
attention.
they were still doing 3 characters a
Yeah,
month.
because it was
And
Poison.
No,
Hippolyta came
Just-
out the next month.
was it
'cause
Justice League
Ares.
after Wonder Woman?
It was Ares, Wonder Woman, Dr. Poison came out together, and I remember it was weird because DCL wasn't spoiling that it was Ares. That was like a big deal that they waited to debut Ares like until the movie came out, and
Mm.
then the next month was Hippolyta. They did 4 for that movie, but Hippolyta was the following month.
I'm looking.
I promise you.
I'm,
You're gonna look it up. You're gonna look it up in M4's chat, and you're gonna see.
I'm
how
looking
right
at
I
it
am.
right now.
Here we go.
I'm looking at it right now. So, Hippolyta came out with Reverse
This
Flash
is such
and Captain
like a
Cold.
comic
No,
book
no,
thing
no,
people
no,
do.
no.
Like,
Wait,
I
wait,
think
wait.
this. Well, let me go pull it up, and then they stop what they're doing.
yeah.
And then,
And then June
Okay, what are we
was
looking at?
Wonder Woman, DOJ, Doctor Poison, and Ares.
So that's a.
Oh, who?
It was all 4 of them.
So showing a
Didn't we
picture of
just say
the
that?
boy is showing a picture of Hippo, DOJ, Poison,
It's
and a
blurry, I don't know
mystery.
why.
And a
Which was
mystery.
Ares.
But Hippolyta didn't come out until the other month.
So anyways,
They obviously
previous
didn't
month.
release 4
Anyways,
characters in one month.
Regardless of
Right.
But then
all
the
of,
next month-
regardless.
this was the next month.
Go the month before.
Okay, regardless of all that, the original question was, when was the
Oh, she came out
last
with
movie
Reverse
like
Flash
this?
and Captain Cold.
The last movie likeness was
There it is.
Steppenwolf and Aquaman,
There it is, the boy.
Right, from
Okay, there it
Justice
is.
League.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job, Zubaz. You're
because that was November of 2017, and the month
Mhm.
that Du Bois is still arguing about was June of 2017. So-
So the only I'll say this: the Hawk and Dove that we got,
So wait,
those are TV closer than they are anything else. But
yeah, but they're not
That was
Ninja
not-
Jelly, so it doesn't matter.
no, and so I think movies I think they're just staying away from anything that they're just not sure of.
It makes
They-
sense, to be honest.
They clearly have the rights to Bombshells.
Yeah.
They clear,
Oh,
that kind of
God.
thing, and so they're going to keep doing that. They can turn anybody into a Black Lantern. It seems like whether they were or they weren't. And other than that, who knows?
Wait, who did they turn into a Black Lantern that wasn't a Black Lantern?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't
Okay.
gone back and compared. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like it's.
I'm pretty sure-
Larfleeze was
wondering-
Larfleeze.
I'm
Wait,
wondering if
was
it was
Larfleeze
Larfleeze.
is
I don't
not
think
a
it was
Black
a Black-
Lantern? Yeah,
No,
Larfleeze
I
has
don't
never been
think
a
he
Black
ever-
Lantern.
No, he wasn't. I don't think so.
Yeah,
Not that I remember.
Larfleeze was the
There
one that
you
stuck
go.
out to me.
I'm looking it up.
Well, while
Let's-
you're doing
yeah.
it,
Anyways,
maybe we close out here.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's wrap this up.
Yeah. So probably next week will be the next episode. We'll be talking more about King Shark.
You ruined your
we'll be-
camera so much. It's just so
I'm
much.
sorry.
I know. I can't get into.
Anyways, go
I'm
ahead.
just like, I feel like I'm so low in the camera
yeah,
right now.
all right, go ahead.
But yeah, so next week we're probably gonna be talking about King Shark. We'll be talking about. We might have no. It's really early in the month to know raid characters.
People won't have King Shark yet.
Oh, you know what? Maybe it'll be 2 weeks till our next episode then.
King Shark comes out.
I kind of want to get the.
King
I
Shark
kind of
comes
want
out
to
on
get
the
the. I mean, I'll
19th.
talk to you guys more about it, but I want to get the show to about like a weekly thing at least.
Try.
So we might have something next week.
Mhm.
We might talk about how the Spectre honeymoon is almost over. So because I think people are going to start coming out with pitchforks pretty soon.
Yes. I'm telling you,
So
man.
talk about that on the next
Listen.
episode. We'll talk about we'll talk about DaBoy's horrible opinions on the next
bad.
episode,
I don't have. It's not.
whether he's here or
He's
not.
so bad.
Whether he's-
So bad.
All right, here's how we end this. I think
Okay.
DaBoy, I want you give me some impressions here at the end because you clearly practiced them. What do we got?
So the best one is hand, and then nom nom.
This-
I don't know. What else does he say?
He practiced 2 lines.
The ones that were in the trailer.
I'm actually not even certain DuBois watched the movie because
You're the one that called Sebastian a mouse.
I confused a mouse and a rat. Sorry.
Hey, well, Mouse Catcher too. That was definitely.
You know what it is? Is here's how I'm just say this. Okay, Amanda, there's rats in LA, and Amanda doesn't like seeing rats, and I'm constantly telling her like you don't need to be scared of the rats. They're just basically mice. She likes mice.
Yeah, except 10 times bigger.
They're huge. Yeah, they're big. But what do they do? But you know what? It's funny. Totally off everything. She was terrified of rats here. Like we'd be walking somewhere and a rat would run by and she'd scream, she'd run, she's terrified, she doesn't want to walk that path again. But now we watched literally Suicide Squad. The next night, a rat's gotten closer to her than ever before, and she was almost like okay with it because she thinks of Sebastian. And she's like, she understands that rats are little, just little.
Rat.
They're just little.
Does Amanda? Does she know about the Rat King?
Oh, don't.
Like
Do you know what that
I know
is?
what a rat king is. Yes.
She doesn't. Do not ever. Show her
I won't
that.
show her that. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay. That would scare me if I saw that. All right, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. Okay. That's it. So maybe Costa, you're saying possibly next week? I don't know, 2 weeks maybe.
2 weeks. We'll see.
We'll try for next week. If not, it'll be 2 weeks from now.
Keep your ear to the ground. Maybe hear some Crime Alley Cast. I'll be doing another episode soon. But I think we did pretty good. I feel like when we did back to back, I feel like we're are we on fire yet? Is it 3 back to back?
3 in a row.
Like,
We're heating up.
We're heating up. We're heating up.
All right, guys, that's it for us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We got to get Zubas to do an outro. Did DaBoy do one yet?
Dude, I haven't done
Boy
that.
hasn't done one yet
God.
either.
I did one.
I need one from
Lickety
either one of you for
split.
today. So
Okay.
All right,
You have
perfect.
to redo yours now, Josh.
Oh, I do. All right, I will. All right.
You
that's it.
also you need some shots fired back at a certain other podcast.
Yes. You do, Josh.
Oh my God! Yeah, you know what? You know what?
We gotta write some.
I gotta think of.
write
Yeah, we gotta think of something.
clap back tracks.
Yeah. Gotta clap that. All right, that's it, guys.
right.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. See you guys later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
thank you for watching the Crime Alley Cast. Hit the like button and tell us what you thought of this episode in the comments below. And click the bell to never miss a future episode. If you want to catch us on the go, check out the audio version of the podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and Podbean. Each of the hosts are also available live streaming DCL and other games throughout the week, and be sure to drop by and say hello. Links will be in the description below, and I'll see you next time.